Let's get it. Let's get. I see some of y'all freestyling over there. Y'all not low. He had y'all freestyling. How we feeling, family? How's everybody doing? Talk to me in the chat. Happy day two. More excited than ever, y'all. I told y'all every single day gets better. Every single day gets better, y'all. Have I lied to you yet? Has this met your expectations and more? Well, the crazy thing is, y'all, today it gets even better. What's going on, Coach Shay? Coach Shay, the only one said what up to me. Shout out to Coach Shay. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love. Who else we got? I see Victoria in the building. Patricia, how you doing? Renee, how you doing? Rosalind, you always in the room. Arwana, how you doing? Good to see you again. My guy Cam, he over there. He ain't moved. He ain't even blinked since yesterday. What's going on, brother? Charles, how you feeling? How you feeling? Happy day too, y'all. I got a lot of people with the cameras off. Oh man, the cameras off is crazy. All right, let's go. Let's go. Hey, listen, before we get into it, I need y'all to go in the chat, tell y'all family that class has started. VIP session has officially started, y'all. I'm getting some love now. All right, Swantosha, how you feeling? Vicky, of course, always love. Rachel and Jolin, hope you well. Zoom user, I'm gonna give you a gem. When you get these classes, this is one thing I learned early. When y'all get these classes, change your name. Like some people we have an iPhone or Zoom user, but change it to either your name or your IG handle. The reason why that's important is because we're all in here. We all do different things. You might find a business partner, accountability partner, someone who can help you, but they can't find you if it's Zoom user. All right. So that's just a little sidetrack. Right. Somebody drop ready in the chat if you're ready for the day. Let me get this AC on, y'all. I'll be forgetting. It be getting hot. I'll be talking to y'all, having all this energy. Let me get it cool in here. All right. Get it cool in here. All right. All right, y'all. Welcome to day two. All right, of the 3-day Pitch to Profit Summit. All right. Now, I seen some of y'all, but let's be honest. All right. I see more participation. How many of us completed the homework from last night? How many of us completed the homework? Let me know in the chat. We said we was gonna be committed. We said we was gonna be accountable. We said we was gonna do what we had to do, y'all. Remember what I've been telling you all week. How you do anything is how you do everything. All right. I seen about 40-50% of people do the homework, which means 50 to 60% of us, we got work to do. We got to lock in. All right. We got to lock in. All right. But anyway, today too, I'm going to be breaking down the one-to-many sales presentation conversion system. All right. This is the best business model in the world. All right. We talked about it. Having more time back and making more money faster. All right. Now, tonight, all right, tonight is also the night. All right. Some of you all will have the opportunity. All right. How many people did I tell you all will have the opportunity to work with us over the next 10 weeks? Somebody let me know. How many people did I say? 33. Patricia, you close. 33. All right. 33. How many of you all already know that you are ready to get to that next level faster? If that's you, just put me. If that's you, just put me. Listen, tonight what's going to happen is for those of y'all that join the wait list, all right, you guys are going to get a text a little earlier than everyone else. All right. Where you guys are going to get the opportunity to lock in one of those 33 spots. The reason we do only 33 transparently is I base it based on capacity that I have. All right. The worst thing I want to do is take on 100 people and then people have questions. We can't get into it. So I work with the amount of people that I can serve. All right. So 33 of you all have the opportunity. If you do want to be one of those early people to be able to hear about the opportunity before I break it down on here later on after class, just drop waitlist in the chat. And this will be the last time I talk about the waitlist. All right. Just drop waitlist in the chat. If you want to join the waitlist to be able to hear early. If not, we're going to get into it. All right. We're going to get into it. Let me see, but then see. Okay. Perfect. All right. All right. So team dropped the wait list. A couple people said they want to get on it. All right. So the way this is going to go, y'all already know, just like every day, raise your hands if you want to come up. My name is, my question is, all right? You ask your question, I'll break it down. It could be anything regarding anything we've talked about, anything we're going to talk about today. If you got questions about that, anything about content, about marketing, about sales, about the system, all right? Even just about the opportunity, whatever questions you want to ask, y'all are more than welcome to. All right, first one that have their hands up, I'll call out, and then we'll go from there. All right, first up, I got Scott Campbell.
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate it. Again.
Yes, sir. How you feeling today?
Good. My name is Scott, and my question is, I am at the point where I've closed my first client. I've built their ad creatives, their landing page, and their automation. I'm still in the process of getting their follow up system set up. My thing is how I'm trying to still eliminate myself from being the bottleneck of her initial goal of closing clients for herself.
Okay,
Um, how would I do that? Because how would I do? Because I'm like now I'm doing this two step with her right now. Like
got you. So you are so okay. So you run. I'm assuming is it an agency or your operator?
I'm the operator for her.
Okay, cool. So you set up her funnels. You're saying right, and build out the automations.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Is it a book a call funnel or a webinar funnel?
It is a book a call, and she's doing registrations for since she's running a dance studio, so she's looking for more so registrations. So we're doing actually book a call.
Okay, so she has a dance studio. She's looking to get more people to come into her dance studio. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So she's doing VSL book talking about the dance studio, what it is. They either they watch the video, then book a call, or it's just a landing page. They book a call, and you're now trying to figure out how do you build out how do you extract the part where she picks up the phone and calls. Is that what we're saying?
She either needs so what I'm trying to do is actually supply that follow up system because her follow up system is still not working. She's still in the
Got
red.
you. Okay. So you need talking about automations and workflows. So essentially, what you can do is you can set up automations and workflows in Go High Level. I don't know if you're using Go High Level, but Go High Level is the system we use. So literally,
Yes.
you can set up contingencies. So basically, every time someone books a call, there will be a trigger that goes off, and the trigger says, "Okay, this person just booked the call for this time." She'll be able to see the calendar, and she'll be able to get them be there for the car, or she can hire a sales closer, right? And a sales closer's job is take all the calls. Like if she's someone like I hate calls, you might want to place a closer in her business. And what a closer does, we pay the closer 10% commission. So I don't know how much her offer is. Let's say it was $1,000. The closer picks up, it closes the call, and she gets the money, of course, but she pays her closer out. And she can pay it every week, every 2 weeks, or sometimes some people pay monthly at the end of the month, 10% of that. That's what I would set up. If she has advanced automations beyond that, there's something called Zapier that we use. So we can connect Zapier to the funnel. So basically, you set it up based on contingencies. So every time someone takes an action, then Zapier will connect it to the next thing that the next action they want. For example, if you wanted them to receive an onboarding package after they sign up for the studio 3-month agreement, then what would happen is they get once they do the action, pay the price, Zapier will then connect so that they now will receive their onboarding packet. Here's your first day. Here's what you get. Here's our token of appreciation. Welcome to the studio. Something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man.
No problem, brother. Let me see. All right, cool. So yeah, so the system that we utilize, and those of y'all who be spending time with us, and even all of y'all who are getting into the online space, I recommend Go High Level. We do have a white level version for the people in our program, so we can look at your stuff if you're ever struggling, templates. But it's a great all-in-one platform where you got things like text messages, emails, automations. You can even pre-set up your mini chat. I know some of y'all use mini chat, where now you can do inside Go High Level, where it'll all be in-house. You'll be able to see book calls. You'll be able to see your pipeline, meaning how many leads came through your funnel, how many people they got on the call, they didn't pay. Then you can create a pipeline where you can follow up with them, right? So it gets real cool, and it's a simple platform, which I love. All right. Next up, I got Wealth King. What's going on, bro? Oh, hold on. I don't think I can hear you. Let me see. Try to oh, let me see. Try to come up now. No, I still can't hear you, brother. Try one more time. Okay, so Even if you want to drop it in the if you want to drop it in the chat, I got you. If you want to drop your question in the chat. All right. Who we got next? What y'all got? Y'all got no questions, huh? Y'all just out here going crazy. All right, let me see. Teresa from Pennsylvania. Okay, so if y'all don't have questions, that's fine. I got some value to give y'all. All right. If anyone does have it and you don't want to come off camera, you could drop it in there. I'll try my guy one more time. Let me see. Wealth.
Can you
Wealth
hear me,
King.
bro?
Yes, sir.
All right, I bet. So I got a kind of like a two-part question, bro, if you don't mind. How many different departments do you have in your business? And if you had to start over, which department would you hire first to make your first 20 to 50K in webinars?
That's a great question. So departments now we have our operations department, which consists of our virtual assistants. We have 7 of those. We have our operations managers. We have a tech and automation specialist. So that's like the ops slash tech side. So you would count it as 2. We have the sales department. We have 7 sales reps. We have a sales manager. And we have an ads advertisement team who does all our ads and our partners ads. We do partnerships. So sometimes we come into people's businesses. We run the back end, the system. So we have then we have our client success team who is like our CSMs. Like, we do in our programs, we offer one-on-one with client success because what I've seen is that's what helps people get more results. So, we added that. And some people think, well, that's an expense, but it actually makes you more money because if you serve people at a high level, they're going to tell more people or they're going to continue to stay with you.
Right.
So those are like the 4 main departments. If I could go back and do it over again for a webinar, first person you're going to want is a go high level specialist slash VA. So
Yep.
it's a virtual assistant who specializes in go high level because they're a hybrid. So they can handle all your tech if stuff messes up. And I'm not a tech person at all. So that was the first thing I needed. But they can also run your webinar in terms of sending out the Zoom link, the automations, and then dropping links when you need them. So that'll probably be the first hire that I would need to get to 20,000. And then a sales closer would probably be the second because if you're selling high ticket, like how much you offer?
Right now I'm still building it out, so I'd say probably like 25 to 5,000.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so if it was, let's say you did, 2,500 and you did direct to book a call at the end of your presentation. Let's say you're getting 10 book calls. Instead of you having to take the 10, you just have a sales closer take the 10. Maybe they close 4 out of 10. You made $10,000 that week, and then we can run it back at 6 hours. So those would be the first 2 hires for my webinar system if I start all over.
All right, but appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Great question, bro. Great question. Next I got Victoria.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How you feeling?
Fine. How's everybody? I thought we were supposed to get a workbook.
Yes, you were. If you got I think it was VIP
I
or
did.
gold.
I did.
You didn't get your workbook?
No.
Okay. All you got to do is reach out to support. I'll give you an email right now, and I will make sure that you get your workbook.
Thank you so much. And when does the replays come out?
The replays, you guys will be getting those starting tomorrow morning.
Are they lifetime?
If you got the one the one of them was a 12-month one. If you got the highest one, I think it was a 12-month access.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you.
Love you more. Victoria, my favorite. She always in the room. Victoria, you done been with me for like 2 years now. I love to see it. I got Dominique. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm well.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you good. Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, I want to do my webinars on Wednesday. So if, say I had something else to do, like for example, this today. So I know I'm supposed to do it on the same day at the same time every week. So
Yes.
like, what would be the alternative if, for example, something came up or I had a schedule conflict?
Yeah, for sure. So when you decide you get into this business, once you set that date, that is locked in. You don't get date night Wednesday. You don't get trip night, girls night out Wednesday. Wednesday is the night you get to make that money. So the
Okay.
good thing, every other night you're free though, right? But I would say
Mhm.
whatever night you decide, let's commit to that. Like for me, I go to Dubai Thursday. I'm committed. I gotta wake up 3 in the morning. I go to travel. I'm doing a podcast run. It's the one night I got. So no matter, the beautiful thing is you can do it on the go, right, with your laptop. But you do say commit to that one, because people, they start to like, they're gonna be like, all right, Dominique's classes this Wednesday. So even if they don't buy this week or next week, eventually they're gonna buy. They just probably need to spend more time with you. So I would suggest commit to that day.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. I'm glad she asked that question too. That's a great question. When y'all pick y'all day, whatever it is, commit to that day. Now, if it's your first one, you do it and you realize, oh shoot, this day is actually not good. It's early. You could switch a date, but you want to get into a day that you can consistently show up for. And then just so you all know, I thought of this as she was talking about it. The best days for webinars, they say usually any day, Sunday through Thursday is fine, right? The reason Fridays and Saturdays are typically people stay away from those is because you can imagine the show up rate would be down, because those are the nights that people are usually out, right? So anytime Sunday through Thursday, Sunday is 3 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Usually I do mine in the evening because I know people go to church. And then Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. I've done both. It don't really make a difference. I've even done 8 p.m. It's all pretty much the same. Just to give y'all some context. All right. Next, I got Ariwana. How you doing today?
Oh, wait a minute. I
I
lost
can hear
my
you.
screen. Well, I lost my screen. Hold on. Okay. So my name is Aaron. My question is, now before I believe I asked about other people's audience.
Yes.
So and you were saying like to offer them like 50% of the sale. So how do you keep track of that? Or how do you know if somebody came in that was not through the other
That-
group? How do you, and how long do you do that for? Like, how long do they get to keep 50? You know, I mean, like, how does that work
For sure.
specifically?
So it was just so I recollect, it was someone else had a group and you wanted to basically go teach in that group and collect, sell them and then give them 50%. Talking about that situation.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what you would do is you can utilize Go High Level, right? Or I think even StanStore. StanStore will allow you to, where essentially you'll set up an affiliate link. So it'll have if you go to a tab that's called affiliates, you would basically get the person who owns the group or get the group name, utilize that name. And what'll happen is that'll be their link. So when you go to present in their group or in their class, all right, you'll drop that link, all right, when you're looking to sell, and you'll be able to see it, and you can give them access so they can also see the people who come through that link as well. That way everyone's on the same page. You can see the money coming from their link at any time. They can also see the money that's coming through your link at any time.
And what is it called?
Either StanStore, StanStore. I believe they have it. If for some reason they don't, then I know Go High Level definitely has it.
Okay, so that means I can track which ones came from that group.
Yes,
And they will
exactly.
get and if it didn't come from that group, then I'm going to get the full amount or what?
That's you. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
you're getting all the amount regardless, right? You're just gonna, you're gonna basically be transparent with that person because you want them to continue to allow you to work in their group. So you'll say, hey, we closed it at like let's say you closed it today, right? And you closed like 4 people from their group. Cool. You'll check your payment processor. You'll look at your affiliate. You'll say, hey, today we closed 4 people. If it was $1,000 offer, if I said I'm going to kick you back, let's say 30%. Okay, I'm going to be sending you over $1,200, which is the 4 people times the $300, right? Then you could disperse the funds to them however you'd like.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. No problem. No problem. Great question. All right. So what she's talking about, right? Because I didn't touch base on it yet this week. I think tomorrow we'll get into that. Is when we talk about leveraging OPA, all right, leveraging OPA, leveraging other people's audience, right? So we'll talk about that a lot tomorrow. But essentially, y'all see a lot of people like doing podcasts, and you see a lot of people doing those street interviews, right? I'm going to teach you all how to really go out and execute those, right? Even communities. There are a lot of people who have communities on different things, beauty salon communities, funding communities, grant. It don't matter what it is. People have communities in different areas. So what you can do is you can reach out to these people, right? Tell them you love to add value to their community. You go in there, you give some game, and then what you do is you tell the owner, hey, I'd like to make an offer at the end. And what we could do is we could do a profit share, right? So I made a lot of money by going to people's communities, giving away some sauce. And then what I'll do is I say, hey, anyone want to work with me in a certain capacity, right? And then what we do is off the money we make, we kick them back a percentage. All right. So they're incentivized because one, it adds value to the community. And secondly, they get to make some money without doing any work. All right. So that's a play that y'all can start to look into. Next up, I got Clarence Brown.
What's going on, bro?
How you feeling?
I'm pretty good. My question, I ran a couple webinars, my second one, and I've been following you for a while. I remember you saying like you hadn't made money until like your fourth webinar. So
Yeah.
I'm still hopeful, you know what I mean? But I
Yes,
wanted to
sir.
ask, what would you say was the biggest difference from your first webinar to your fourth when you finally started to kind of break that ice and make some bread?
For sure. So it was the intent. Like it was the intent was specifically the selling part. Because what happens is, and it was gonna happen when I coach a lot of y'all, the first one you're gonna do, you're gonna be nervous at the pitch, right? And then I'm gonna tell you to stop being nervous at the pitch, but I'm gonna walk you through what that pitch looks like, right? And then some of you, the second one, you're like, all right, I'm gonna pitch harder. But then some people, like for me, I wasn't a person who liked sales at all. But when you do a webinar every week, you realize that selling is serving. So I had to shift my mind and I focused on that part, which is why in the program we go over a lot of sales psychology because you always have to learn how to properly pitch. So by my fourth one, I started to be like, all right, like my first three, I would stay on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I'd be like, all right, y'all have a good day. I'll close the laptop. Right. But my fourth one, I'm like, what Denzel said, no, I'm leaving here with something, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm staying on the pitch because you got to realize people think when they pitch, people are just supposed to say, here, take my car right away. No, people are with their families, people are driving, people got to stop at the bank, people got to ask their significant other, people got to think about it. Some people, they're trying to trick themselves out of their spot, so they're back and forth with their self. There's all of these obstacles that people have, so you got to sit in the pitch, right? So that was probably the biggest difference from when I started to make my first sale, and then I started to get better probably 3 to 4 months in when I really focused on being better at communicating. All right, so that was probably the biggest difference. And yeah, that was the difference that made a lot.
Nah, I appreciate it, bro. 'Cause I see they get to the checkout, but they just exit the checkout. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. So we gotta talk to them more, right? And I talk about objections a lot. So objection handling is like we go over a lot of that because you got to understand what are the reasons that a person wouldn't buy, and you have to speak to all of those reasons so they can get confidence that okay, now I know it's to me. So you have two different type of objections. You got the emotional objections, which we talk about: time, fear, money, cost. You got those. Then you got your tactical objections. Will this program work for me? Am I going to get these certain things out of this program that I know I need? So we have to go through all of those objections so a person can say, okay, and mentally they go, check, that checks off my list. Check, that checks off my list. Check, that checks off my list, right? So by the time you've gone through all those objections, now it's an easier yes. And then you want to have a follow-up system. So I don't know if today we'll get too into it, but your follow-up system is crazy. Like, you're going to have setters calling. You can have sales reps reaching out. You can have automations on the back end, right? We make about probably 30% of our revenue after the webinar. Because guess what? If you're doing your webinar on a Thursday, maybe someone doesn't get paid till Friday. Maybe they want to take the offer, but they just need some time to go get that, right? So we got to have these different things in place, and that's gonna help you. That's gonna help you go up. But I got you. We finna go up. I remember we supposed to talk too. We're gonna go up. Yes, sir. Great question. Next I got Coach Shay. Going on, Coach?
Hey. Yes, Coach Shay here from All That Creations and Devoneer Law. So my question is, if a person doesn't really like being on camera a lot, what would you recommend the best platforms for that person to say market and host their coaching courses on? As
If you
far as
don't like,
not being on camera to do a whole lot of content creating, kind of
okay,
like a behind the scenes.
okay. So like this, like what I'm doing with y'all, would you show up on like this, like
Yes, yes.
okay, you're just saying what the content specifically.
Yes, with the content and the best platforms to host on and to
Host your
present.
Zoom?
Let's say if you present a course and you don't do it
Okay,
on Zoom or,
got
do
you.
you have any?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So what you can do, this is what I'll tell you. I would recommend you being on camera for that, just
Mhm.
because it's a trust thing, right? People trust people they can
Yeah.
see. Like if I talk to y'all all week like this, and I was like, hey y'all, even if I gave y'all all the value in the world, you probably be like, bro, I'm not buying nothing from you. I'm not even listening to you, right? Right? It doesn't matter how much value I could have given you everything in the world. I could have gave you the whole blueprint, right? So I think
Mhm.
just people getting when we talk about no like trust, right? Knowing you
Yes.
first, liking you, drawing a liking to you. Like I can see you got a bubbly personality, right?
Mhm.
It's something that people will gravitate towards. You will be doing them and yourself a disservice by not showing your personality to the world because they need to see you. Because there's gonna be people who's just like you and they're gonna be like, dang, I
Mhm.
like her. This you could me and
Mhm.
you could sell the same thing, and there's gonna be people who will literally shop with you because they feel like they're more connected to you, or they feel like you have more in common for you. That's why the online space is beautiful because everyone can do the same thing and make a lot of money because people buy from who they know, like, trust. So I would tell you, get on that camera, right? And what I would tell you also is for platforms you can host your course. There's a few. You can record the videos on Loom, and then or Canva, right? And then you can upload them in a portal in a Go High Level or Kajabi or School. That way people can have easy access to
Mhm. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
it. No problem. Great question. Great question. Great question. All right, y'all, we're in a time now where a personal brand is the strongest thing that you can have. Like the most important thing you can have is a personal brand. People say, well, how do I build a personal brand? You literally just show up, right? Because people, statistically speaking, they buy from people first, products and services second. So people aren't even buying from like who's the best. They buy from who they connect to the most, right? So the more you show up, the more money you're going to make. It's as simple as that, right? I've been showing up for 3 years. I don't miss a day, right? Because every day that I don't show up, guess what? They're gonna go find someone else. Like if your favorite show came on, right? Like ladies, I don't know what y'all be watching. What y'all be watching? Fellas, I know y'all watch ESPN, right? If ESPN came on every day at 6:30, and then one day it just didn't come on, how would you feel? You probably be like, well, what's going on? You'd be shocked. But if it didn't come on for a whole week, you would find something new to watch, right? And that's how us as marketers, right? That's how our personal brands work. I'm not telling you got to post content every day. All right. There are other ways that we can market. Like I know a dude that do 15 million a year and he posts 3 to 4 times a week, got less than 10,000 followers, right? But he's running paid ads. He's doing OPA. He's doing other strategies. He does a lot of affiliate marketing, which all those things I can show y'all as well, right? But what I am telling you is when you show up, you're helping yourself and you're helping more people. All right. Great question. Next up, I got TJ. Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you.
Can you see me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Darius, what's going on, man? It's TJ from Trucker Looks Right. So I'm in this weird stage right now where I've been investing into my social media for the last 8 months right now. I think we back, man. I've built up a lot of like engagement, right? So like last month we had 18 million engagement on the Instagram Trucking Looks Bright.
Cooking.
But I started it off as a meme page. Like I had my other company and I was investing and we were just doing memes in the trucking industry and like started killing it. Last month we did crazy. We did really good. And I'm
Yeah.
and I'm I'm threading the educational in there, but
Yes.
most of I want to say 90% of my 95% of my money is coming from paid ads. I got over 26,000 followers now in 8 months, and I'm trying to figure out how do I start to monetize that better.
I love it. Okay, cool. So basically, you got a meme page. All right. For those of y'all who don't know what it is, it's like a theme page where essentially, I'm assuming yours, you talk different stuff about trucking, maybe some funny stuff, some entertainment stuff, some serious stuff, a little bit of everything. Okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool,
correct.
cool.
My social media team creates memes, yeah, for the truck
I love
industry.
it. So what I would do is I wouldn't stop what you're doing because that's what's building, right? So we have top of funnel content, we have middle of funnel content, then we have bottom of funnel content. So what I would do is once a day, I would do I don't know how many posts you're doing a day. Let's say it's 5 or let's say it's 3 posts. I would do
Yeah, about 3.
the 2 that you're continuously doing, and then one of those posts every day would either be like a talking head video, or it could be this. If you're doing like the carousel types, it would still be a carousel, but that post would be given some game. And then on the last swipe right, it would be, listen, if you're interested in learning how to make, extra $10,000 to $50,000 a month with a trucking company, link in bio, right? So that way you're still filtering the new stuff, but now every third post is just, hey, or it could even be the haha, like whatever you're doing, like the funny stuff, but that swipe right, like 10 trucking mistakes people make, or 5 trucking mistakes people make. Slide 1, they do this. Slide 2, they do this. Listen, last slide, if you're interested, do this. Because those carousels go crazy for engagement, especially when you're like step by step, 3 biggest mistakes, 3 biggest tips, or here's the 5 things I did to make my first $10,000 a month. And then when you hit them with the link in bio, now you'll get the engagement. That's one thing. The second thing I would do is through your stories, right? I know you probably repost a lot of the memes. What I would do is 2 to 3 times a week, I would have like a series where it's like, yo, last month our trucking company did this, all right, and then a swipe right of like, here's what we did to do it. Have like you with the truck, we picked up these loads, we connected with this, and then the last one is, if you want to learn more, I'm helping 10 people for free learn my 3-step process, link in bio. Because now it's essentially like a webinar, be a story, and that traction is not going to cook. So I would do your funny meme first, because that's going to get the views up, and then I'll hit him with that right after, and then drive him in through there.
I love that. I appreciate that, Darius. I'm gonna implement that one.
Let's get it. Great question. Yeah, we actually just bought a shout out page, which is like a meme page basically, and they had a certain theme, and we're implementing some of our stuff in there, and we're doing like that strategy. So we're keeping what they already did, because that's what that audience already knows and likes. But on top of that, what we're doing is we're adding in like an education post every 3rd or 4th post, all right, to be able to start to funnel people in. And the more people see stuff, then they'll start to take action. But yeah, that's gonna be dope, bro. All right, we got time for like 1 or 2 more. If anybody has questions. Well, man, if not, we'll get into this class. Perfect. I got Victoria. What's going on, Victoria?
So Darius, what's the best system to use in order to collect money from people when you are trying to get them to purchase from you, or when you want to do a webinar and charge people for the webinar?
Great question. All right. So this is for all of y'all. So what you all want to do, right? And we're going to show you how to set up like your sales landing pages in the program. But what you want to do is you want to have your landing page where you break down everything that they're going to get, the outcomes, the bonuses, and things of that nature. With that being said, all right, you want to have a few different payment processors set up, right? So one payment processor we use is Stripe. All right. Stripe is one. We also use something called NMI, or otherwise known as deposit. So you want to have multiple of those just in case, let's say something happens with one, right? You have a backup. All right. The other thing, right? The other thing that I would tell you is you want to have financing available. All right. Financing is very important because there's some people who are going to finance the winning program. Like about 32% of the people who enroll in my mentorships, my coaching programs, they use financing. That's a third. So if I didn't have financing options, how much people I wouldn't be able to help, right? So now they wouldn't be able to get in, be able to get the result because I didn't have it. So I'll tell you a few of those you can sign up. When you sign up for Stripe, it has like Klarna. Fanbases is another one you want to get. Fanbases is a payment processor. And when you sign up with Fanbases, they have different financing options within there as well. So those are some that you can get right away.
Thank you.
No problem. Great question. Listen, y'all gotta have as many options as possible. All right. You have to allow people the opportunity. All right. Next up, I got Jasmine Smith.
Okay, so I have a low ticket funnel I mean, I don't know speakerphone. Hold on. Okay, so I guess I'm trying to do like a community-based funnel. So like I'm trying to build my community, but still get the sales, I guess, included. Um, so I have a school community for parents. And the first part of it is free, but the second part of it is gonna be like the MRR. So it's like a low ticket, like $20 a month. Um, but like I'm trying to incorporate sales, like I guess like trying to act like how do I incorporate the sales like with the other offers? I like if I had like an ebook or like if I wanted to include like my core offer, things like that. Like how will I incorporate that into that community based funnel?
So that was a lot of moving parts. So give me the I guess simplify what the question you got so I could give you a good answer. I can give you a straight answer.
So it's a community based funnel, like funneling everybody into my community, like trying to build my community up, but I want to incorporate sales included so that I can make money as well instead of just making everything free, free, free.
Got you. Okay, so your community right now is all free.
Yes, the first part of my community is free.
Okay, got you. So what you want to do is you want to basically have something front end. So two options. Some people do a free community and then they call everyone to try to upgrade them. And there's nothing wrong with that. What I like is I like something paid on the front, even if it was super cheap. Right. So let's say you started charging $27 per person. All right. So now your community, you get in is $27 a month. And then once they get in, they get the value that you added there, whether it's, I don't know if you're doing live classes, ebooks, PDFs, cheat sheets, dropping new plays every week, whatever it is. And then what you could do is you could have within your community a button to upgrade, right? Or you can have higher level stuff in there, but it's blocked off until they upgrade. So you have like an upgrade button, and then they see all the other stuff that you have in there where they're gonna want access to this stuff, and they're gonna book a call to be able to upgrade to get access to the extra stuff. So that's how you can monetize your community more. So have it low ticket to get in, and then have it so that they have the ability to upgrade if they would like to.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem. No problem. No problem. All right. So yeah, so like I like free for webinars, right? Because we allow ourselves to touch more people, get more people, but I don't love free products. Now, some people they do, free like Tripwire, get them in free and then talk to them. But I believe that once you've given value at that point, people who are serious and they want to go to that next level, they're going to join. And if they don't, it just means either A, maybe the presentation needs work, or B, it just means maybe they weren't your person, right? They weren't ready or they weren't your person. So all of you all, I don't want you all to get obsessed with like so much free, right? Because at the end of the day, y'all are in business, right? And at the end of the day, y'all are good at what you do, right? Like if you're good at what you do, I wouldn't imagine that you would be free, right? So just to shift your mindset on that for going forward, cut all that free out, right? They get the free class, that's all they get. After that, they got to pay so they can pay attention. All right. We're gonna go with my guy Wealth King. What's going on, bro?
You said so for the first two hires, you said GHL Tech and closer. Now, where do I find like good closers?
There's plenty of places you can find good closers. We got an in-house team who can actually hire a closer for you. If you need. Also, there's what's that site? iOS. There's another site I see where they place closers. If you need a closer, just reach out to me. And then I could connect you with some people I know.
I'm in a school community, so I inbox from school.
Okay, perfect. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. All right. Any more before we get into class? Y'all, I'm excited. We about to cook today. Let's see. Let me reset this. There's people in here. Okay, perfect. All right, we about to get into class. All right, before we get into class, I want to bring up one of my guys. He has been crushing it. I had to have him come talk to y'all today. He been going so crazy. Boy making so much money, man. I can't even get a hold of him now, man. What's going on, family? How you doing?
What's good, King? How you doing, King? How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. And if I was a complaint, I'd be crazy.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yes, sir. I said I'm super excited, bro. I appreciate you taking the time to come. So this week we've been doing this 3-day challenge. Spending a lot of time with a lot of great minds, a lot of people. They're in the coaching space or they're getting into the coaching space, and they're gonna be running webinars. And last 30 days, you absolutely crushed it, right? And I wanted you to just really talk to them about your transformation from when you came into the program, what you're doing now, and what the difference has been like and what you've experienced.
Nah, definitely, definitely. So, first off, family, my name is Coach Dev. Some of you guys might have seen me on Instagram. We help people set up LLCs, help them with their credit, get access to business funding, and then we help them protect it all through asset protection through IULs and trust funds. So, like D said, man, when I came to him, I was in a similar position as some of you guys. I had ran a couple webinars. I was doing it for like 6, 7 months, and I was getting my ass like kicked. I could not close, y'all. I could not close. And what I realized was I needed a little extra help. So I invested in myself, joined the program. I don't know what the offer is going to be looking like here. So, you know, it was a nice little investment, a nice little investment, y'all. So I joined the program immediately, man. Got straight to it. We didn't mess around at all. We got straight down to the modules. Jumped in his actual mentorship, which is a similar setting like this, where he's going to be teaching, answering questions, and all of that. And the homework that he had me do, trying to change my entire presentation once I went in there and added the new details of what he taught me, man, we started crushing it. I mean, killing it. The closing rate went from like not closing anybody, having a webinar full of like 30, 40 people, not closing anybody at the end, to now we have a 30% closing rate, which is really phenomenal. The average person, so might not sound like a lot to you guys. The average person is normally around 5 to 10%. With this guy's methods, 30%. And the retention rate is crazy. So like most of the webinars, and I'm sure he's going to teach you guys all of this, but we had webinars with like 100 people in there. And a lot of times you get like a 50% drop off rate. We were able to have an 85% retention rate. So from start to pitch, 85 people, if we have 100 people in there, and then we're closing 30% of that. So like you said, you know, we just had a phenomenal month. We just did 62,000 in the last 30 days, just based off
Hold
of
on. 62,000 in a year?
no, 62,000 in the last 30 days.
Oh my, let me hold something, man. You going That's so
So,
dope.
man, you know, and that's 100% credited to, you know, all the information that we learned from Darius, just teaching us how to actually present, how to create a slideshow, how to pitch at the end, how to send them to booker calls, how to handle. He gives you everything. I mean, you don't have to think about anything. So I invested, I think maybe 45 days ago. I don't even think we had like 50-day, 60-day mark, man. I've already 10x my investment, y'all. You know, like seriously, already 10x my, and to be completely honest, the first 10 days I made my money back. And everything from there has just been profit. So that's the credit to my brother here, man. He's been dominating, he's been killing. Anything that he tells you guys to do, just do it, show up, don't make any excuses. Do the modules, do the homeworks, you know what I mean? And put those reps in. And I promise you, he's gonna get you guys to the finish line. I promise you.
Now, I appreciate you sharing that, bro. And that's so good, man. And the thing about Dev, I'll tell you the truth, though. You know, somebody put coachable in the chat, right? So everybody wants to coach, but you got to be coachable. This guy, after every webinar, he'll hit me. Yo, this went good. I feel like this could have been better. Here's what I need. What do you think about this, right? He's coachable. He's willing to learn, right? So you have to be willing to take direction. But he's a product of what I say, someone who already had a work ethic. I never have to like see, oh, is Dev putting in the work? Like, I know he's putting in the work, right? So for him, it was like, no, the direction. And some of you all, that's you. Right now, you got a work ethic. Right now, you have the drive. You're not lazy. The problem is just direction, right? And what happens is you get that confidence. Like Dev, when he first came, he's like, yo, I was told you can't really sell more than a 997 off of a webinar. And I said, bro, that's the old belief. Because when we came up, they used to say, $997 was the price point, right? But what I tell people, that's why I'm always learning, right? Because now you can sell. I got students that sell a 5K off of a webinar, right? It's just a different way we do it. And he took it, went crazy. Price immediately went up. So, bro, I appreciate you sharing that, man. You know, someone who may be like, you know, hesitant, maybe they invested before it didn't work, they may be on the fence. What would you say to that person? Because I know you've invested many times in different programs.
Man, I've invested over $40,000 into mentorships over these last couple of years. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. This the one. This the one I was able to make my money back in the first 7 days, y'all. Do what he's telling y'all to do. Do what he's telling you to do. You're not going to lose as long as you come in coachable, you got good work ethic, and you are doing what he's telling you to do. You're going to win. There's no losses in this. There's no losses in investing in this mentorship. I guarantee you guys. There's no
Man,
losses.
I appreciate you, brother. Hey, listen, make sure you go follow my guy, Coach Dev. Drop your IG in there. They can go check you out, man. You're doing amazing things. I know some of y'all need y'all credit, y'all need funding. He the man with the plan, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Keep being great. I need 100,000 in the next 30 days, man. Can I get that?
Getting it. It's coming. You getting it. It's coming, King. It's coming.
Let's get it. All right, take care, family. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, how many people want a $62,000 a month? How does that sound? 60, you know, they say the average American income, I think, is like $49,500, y'all. And that's the power of this. And I tell people, I've coached a school teacher. A year and a half ago, I coached a school teacher. She was making $42,000. She was working in a public school, came into the program, started making about $12,000 a month. And she wasn't looking to get like super, super rich. I used to be like, you got more in you. She could have, I promise you, if she was all in, she could have got to a point where she was doing 100,000 a month. But she was more like, oh, I'm good, I'm happy. She started making $12,000 a month. You got this, you go from 40 to 120,000. She just wanted a comfortable life, right? But what I'm telling you is it doesn't matter where you are, what you do. If you have any skill set, right? If you have the ability to teach someone something that can get them a result. I'm not talking about being a 10 out of 10. You don't have to be the biggest. You don't have to be a 7-figure business owner. No. When I started teaching, I wasn't running a 7-figure funding company. No, I had made about $250,000 in my funding company. People kept asking me, well, how are you doing that? So I said, okay, cool. I can teach you how to get to where I got to. And as I kept growing, then what? The value kept going up. But I want all of y'all to know, if you can help someone get somewhere, this is for you. This is where the people are paying now for information at an all-time high. College rates at a low, right? Online information is at a high. Why? Because people are realizing, rather than learning from the professor who made $40,000 a year about business, I can go learn from someone who's ran the business and been through the actual things that I'm looking to get to. Does that make sense? All right. I'm ready for class, y'all. All right. Somebody put ready in the chat. Ready in the chat. I need the chat going crazy. We got 105 people on here. Yo, we was at like 115 yesterday. I think we got to go in the group chat and let the family know we about to get started. We're about to get started. Somebody go in there for me. Tell me we about to get started. I'm about to get a new water. Y'all see I'll be running through water like it's nothing. Get another one. All right. Trying to be better. When I was a kid, I used to get in trouble for my mom used to be like, you always half drinking the waters. Hold on, let me zoom out. Why you go so close? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, y'all. Welcome to day 2 of the Pitch to Profit Summit. I'm going to be breaking down tonight the virtual event engine. In my opinion, this is the #1 business model in the world. If you look at all of the people that you see online, I'm talking about the biggest, right? Myron Golden's, Tony Robbins, whoever you like, Alex Hormozy. I don't know who you like, who you watch, right? If you look at what they all have in common, what do you notice? Anyone that what do they all do? We all have the same business model, right? It's one to many, right? And the reason we do that, the #1 reason, is simply because of leverage and speed. All right. So tonight I'm gonna be breaking down, and this isn't just a teaching lesson, as y'all know by now. Y'all building out with me. All right. So we're gonna get right into it, and now let's lock in. All right. All right. The virtual event engine. Everyone can see my screen. Just let me know. Just confirm in the chat. Say yes if you can. Let's see. All right. Cool. Good. All right. The virtual event engine, the system that sells your offer for you one to many instead of one to one. All right. So yesterday's recap, We broke down building out your offer. All right. We talked about the dream cranked, doubt killed, time collapsed, work deleted, and stack loaded. All right. How many people got their offer done? Yes or yes? Let me know in the chat. How many people got their offer done? Let me know. Confirm. I want to make sure we all are doing what we're supposed to do. Okay. I see Victoria say yes. Charles say yes. Good. Lakita say yes. Ray said yes. All right. We locked in. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. We went over that yesterday. What you will walk out with today. All right. Your full event outline from the hook to the close. Your outline. All right. The exact words that sell without being too salesy. Right. Here's the reality with people. No one likes feeling sold to, but people love to be sold. Right? People love to be sold, but they don't like feeling salesy, right? I gotta tell people, I don't do high pressure sales. There's some people who do high pressure sales. If it works for them, cool. I just don't like it. I want to attract the right people with the right messaging, allow them to see the value, and the right people will buy. So I'm gonna teach you all the way I sell, the way we have closed anywhere from a 20 to 30% rate. I get called all over the world to come do repitches for people, which means people literally pay me to fly to the event to close for them, to collect money for them. All right. And they give me a percentage. Right. So when it comes to that, we are one of the best. And I want to help you all to implement some of these secrets and these things that we're using to ethically make a lot more money. All right. This works whether you're at $3,000 a month or $30,000 a month. And then at the end tonight, I already told you, all right, you will get the opportunity to work with me plus bonuses for anyone that is still here. All right. The one rule, same rules as yesterday. Everybody put build in the chat. I don't need your notepad out today. I don't need your pen and pad. Everybody tells you note takers and money makers. And I used to say that too. So I realized, again, something when you learn sales psychology, people taking too many notes means they're not paying attention. It sounds different, right? It sounds backwards. But people are taking too many notes. They can't be listening too much, right? So today we're going to build. I want you implementing, all right? Everything is on the slides, fingers on the keys. By the end, you'll have an event that you can run as soon as this week, all right? The one-to-one trap, the one-to-one trap. Why your cap? It's simple math, y'all, all right? How many of you are right now taking calls for your business? Let me know in the chat. Let me know how many of you are taking calls. Like the way you close deals is you do sales calls. If that's you, there's nothing wrong with it. Let me know. Okay. I see yeses. I see me's. Now let me ask you this. How long on average does it take you to do one sales call? One. I see a lot of y'all saying me. We got a lot of people doing calls. How long on average does it take you to do one sales call? Okay, 20 minutes. Someone said too long. What else we got? I got Rachel and Joseline said 20 minutes. The rest of y'all, how much time does it take y'all? We're gonna do some math. I wanted to show us how much time that we're wasting and how much money we're losing. So let's say Rachel said 20 minutes. When we do, someone said 40 minutes to an hour. Someone said 10 minutes. Someone said 15. Someone said 45. Okay, cool. We'll do what? Dang, 45 to 60. Okay, cool. We'll even dummy it down. I'll even go as low as, we'll go on low end, 30. All right, let's say 30 minutes, right? If one call took you 30 minutes, all right, and you have 10 calls, y'all, that's 5 hours of every day that we have to dedicate to sales. If you have a full week's calendar, that's 25 calls. We're going to be burnt out. You're going to look at your calendar and you're not even going to be happy anymore because now you're going to say, damn, my whole day is done. Now you're not going to get to spend time working on the business because you're working in the business. We call these MWAs, minimum wage activities. Now, at first, all right, when I first started, I took calls. I told y'all the story. I was on a vacation with mom. Took her out. He said, it feels like you're not even here. I was hustling backwards about being on these calls because I didn't understand this system, right? One event, let's say you got 25 calls this week. If you just did a virtual event once a week, a webinar, right? Some people call it a summit, a challenge, whatever you do. You put those same 20 people in the room. If you convert 20%, that's 4 buyers. If you have a $1,000 offer, that's $4,000. If you got a $2,000 offer, that's $8,000. If you got a 5K offer, that's $20,000. I saved myself 4 days in over 24 hours where I made more money in less time. All right. Is this making sense? It's called leverage. The reason most people are capped is because of leverage. When you do phone calls, there's only so much money you can make. There's only so much. Why? Because I can only talk to so many people in a day. If I wanted to have 100,000, let's even say, if I wanted to have a $20,000 day, that means I would have to do 20 calls an hour each. There's only 24 hours in a day. That means from the time I wake up and I got to get up at 4 a.m. and go to what, 12 the next evening, it doesn't make sense. So the problem is we limit ourselves with money. That's why I tell you, the problem isn't making money. The problem is we don't make money fast enough because we don't have the right system. So this is probably the most important thing you'll learn in the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm telling you all, you need to lock in on this because this is how people are helping more people, making more impact and making more money. All right. Most events flop because of these reasons. Most people just teach. They just come on here and they just teach, but they never shift their belief. People have beliefs about what you teach. You need to shift their beliefs by showing them the other way. For example, some of y'all, you came in here, you believe that it took 3 weeks to make an offer. I get some people like 6 months later, like, man, yeah, I'm just making the final touches on my offer. Yo, we just damn near built the offer out in an hour and a half yesterday. Some of you've been told or you thought that one-to-one sales was the best way. Well, I'm going to shift your beliefs today so you understand clearly that this is the best way. All right. So yes, you do some teaching, but you have to shift beliefs. All right. Then people randomly pitch out of nowhere. It's like an awkward tone. Hey, how you doing? Just buy my stuff. All right. You didn't give them any reason to buy. Right. They deliver information instead of a decision. You have to create certainty and belief. You have to create certainty and belief. How do you do that? Well, the things we're going to talk about today, right? A virtual event isn't a masterclass. It's a decision-making machine. We create certainty through providing proof behind everything that we teach. Does that make sense? Let me give it to y'all in layman's terms. If I had, right, let's say there's 2 lawyers, right? There's 2 lawyers, and they both are fighting a case for a client. One lawyer, he comes in or she comes in, and they say, my client is innocent. Like, I know my client's innocent. That's lawyer A. Then you got lawyer B. Lawyer B don't got to yell too much. They come in, they say, Judge, my client is innocent. Here's why. They provide text messages. They provide pictures. They provide a witness. They got everything. They got written statements. Which lawyer are you going to believe if you're the judge? Lawyer A or lawyer B? Which lawyer? B every time. Why? Not because they were the loudest, not because they talked the most, simply because they provided what? They provided proof. This is part of the decision making. That's how the mindset works. Decision making comes from certainty and clarity. All right. So I'm going to talk about that today. The framework is this: the room, the open, the shift, the sell. You have to fill the room up. All right. We're going to talk about traffic tomorrow. You have to hook it, shift it, then close it. All right. Every dollar ever made on one-to-many came from these 4 parts. And I'm going to break down these 4 parts. Part 1, the room. All right. Your title is your filter. Y'all, how many of y'all, when you saw the title of even my opt-in page, when you saw the ad, you registered, you was like, that's exactly what I need. Just when you saw the register page, you were like, that's exactly what I need. Charles said me, right? Why? Because I set it up that way. See, some people, they're trying to talk to everybody. They're like, hey, if you need this outcome, come see me. No, absolutely not. Some people, they're scared that if they're too specific, that they'll scare the money away. No, if you're not specific enough, you will scare the money away because you'll have all of these different people away, all these different people in the room, but nobody who's qualified. Nobody who actually has the pain point and what you saw, right? So your webinar title is the same thing. Promise one outcome, not a whole curriculum. Repel the wrong people, meaning I want to scare the wrong people. When I do my presentations, y'all, I don't know if y'all noticed the first day, I say, hey, this is for you if you're this. This is not for you if you're not this. Why? Because people are scared. Oh, what if people get off? That means it's not your person. The right person, like you're here because you're the right person. All right? So that's part 1. Part 2, the open. The 5 minutes to earn the next 55. Most people, they do this wrong, which is why they can't retain. Yo, I got y'all. It's called the hook. What's the promise? All right. Then you have the promise, which is what they leave with. People stay not because of your webinar. People stay because of what they can get out of your webinar. People don't care about you. They care about how you can help them. That's the reality. All right. So we're gonna do this just like yesterday, right? So y'all get y'all chat GBTs back out. I'm gonna share these prompts with y'all. We're gonna build this thing out, like I said. All right, we're gonna leave here with something. All right, I'm gonna drop it in the oh yeah. It told me the group don't work, right? I mean I'll drop it in there anyway, and I'll also drop it in the Telegram group. All right. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up our chats again. And yesterday, right? A lot of you all built out your foundation, your offer yesterday. All we're gonna do now, is open up that same link if you can. All right. And you're gonna drop this prompt in it. In order to be prolific, you got to be specific 100%. My guy been in the room. That's good. All right. In order to be prolific, we got to be specific. All right. Let me see. I'm going to pull this up, my chat from yesterday. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Whose was I working on yesterday? I think it was Bobby's offer. Let's see if I still got it. First webinar. Revenue splits, upsells. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Copyright, Christopher, core dream outcome. I forget which one it is, but I'm gonna pull this up. All right, we'll pull up a blank one. I'll pull up a blank one. Pull up a blank one. Share the screen. All right, so all we're gonna do, right? All we're gonna do, y'all, is for those of y'all who have your chat up from yesterday, you're gonna take that same chat. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste this in the chat, right? It's asking me, all right, you're a one-to-many event strategist, my offer. So you're gonna paste yesterday's dream outcome. All right. Mine's is help experts, coaches, and consultants package their knowledge and make, say, 10 to 100K a month via webinars. All right. So all I did was I filled in my offer. All right. My audience, I already put coaches and consultants. All right. Write 8 event titles, right? Write 8 event titles that promise one specific outcome, attract buyers, repel tire kickers. Tell me 2 strongest and why. Write 5 opening hooks that promise the outcome in 1 sentence, y'all. Look how specific that is. So watch this. I'm gonna click it. Oh, let me fill out this. Oh. All right. Title 1. Y'all let me know if y'all like it, right? Or y'all build out yours as well. How to turn your expertise into $10,000 to $100,000 months without more one-on-one calls. Who is this for? Established coaches, consultants, and experts. Very clear outcome, removes major pain point, and qualifies people already selling. To y'all here, this is how y'all got here, right? I was very clear, very specific on what I'm going to help you with and what you're going to get away from. So deliver you to the result, but also take you away from the pain that I know you have. All right? Does that make sense? So you guys are going to put in your offer and you should get different options. Now, it's going to give me 8. All right? It told me also its suggestion. Just because chat gives you its suggestion for what it feels is number 1 doesn't mean you have to utilize what it gives. You can go with whichever one you feel is most closest to you. All right? Then what we're going to go is down to hooks. Right? In your webinar or your virtual event, you always need a hook. Why? Because the hook is what hooks people in. If you're already an expert, coach, or consultant, today's training will show you how to turn your knowledge you already have into a predictable $10,000 to $100,000 a month without working more hours. Hook 2. What if one presentation could consistently bring you more qualified clients than weeks of posting content, sending DMs, or taking sales calls? I don't know about y'all. I like that. The highest paid coaches don't make more money because they're smarter. They make more money because they learn how to sell one-to-many instead of one-to-one. Actually, that might be my favorite. All right. And then it'll give you suggestions. All right. Somebody let me know once you're done. Once you put yours in. All right. Just want to make sure y'all are on it. I don't want to move too fast. I know y'all are going through. Y'all setting it up. Really don't be playing. Really is not playing. Congratulations, really. I see you locked in too. I love that. Congratulations. I seen 4 of y'all already locked in y'all spot. Super excited to be able to spend these next 10 weeks with y'all. We going up. All right. Sharmita set up. She's done. She's not playing no games. Let's go. Jasmine says she's done. Okay, good. So I got the first part set up. All right. We have the first part set up. All right. Next thing we're gonna go to. Let me pull this up, back up. All right, cool. All right. So we got the hook and we have the title. Next is the shift. All right. Most people, they overteach. Like when I first started this thing, y'all, part of the reason I didn't make no money on my first 3 is because I thought the point of a virtual event, a sales presentation, I thought it was to run a masterclass. So what I did was I gave away, I mean, in an hour, you can't give away everything, but I gave away so much tactical information that it was overload for people. And the only things you do when you overload people is you make them feel like either 2 things. 1, I'm more confused, this is too much, and I'm checked out. Or the other thing they do is they say, you gave me so much tactic that I feel like I can just go do it on my own. The problem with that is 9.5 times out of 10, they can't. Why? Because who the heck can master 1 skill in 1 hour or 1 skill in 5 days, right? They need more of you. So you do them a disservice because now they don't get your help. So now they go out, they try it, they say it doesn't work, and then they think it doesn't. They think that you don't work or don't know what you're doing. So, right. So what you want to do is you have to, there's a way to teach, right? Like this week, I'm teaching you all. You all getting a lot of value, right? We're teaching you all the what to do, all the when to do it, all the why to do it, right? But there is putting this thing together, which is why we would continue, right? So the way you teach is you teach a lot of the what, the why, the when, but you have to shift people's perspective. And we teach in frameworks, all right? Somebody put framework in the chat, frameworks. This is one of the most powerful tool sets or skill sets you could have. When you teach in frameworks, right? Example, person A, they just walking through everything. Hey, first we're going to go here. We're going to go high level. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to click this button. Then we're going to go here. No, that's too much tactic for a sales presentation. A framework would be, for example, today I just gave you all a framework. Framework is we got the room to open, the shift, to sell. Now what do? I walk through what the room is, why the room's important, right? When to use the room. I gave you a prompt to go get actual closer to the result of the room. Then I did the open, the same thing. Here's how you do your hook, right? Here's why to do your hook. Here's when to do your hook, right? Here's what not to do with your hook. Here's the transformation go make it. So now you help people gain momentum without overly teaching. All right. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat. I want to make sure we got it. Okay, good. Framework. So everything you teach should be in a framework. When I teach my sales presentation method overall, I call it the P4 method. All right. We have to prep, we have to pre-frame, we have to properly present, then we have to pitch. Then I break down what each of those is. But it's more memorable when I teach it like that. Oh, P4, that makes sense, right? It needs to stick. And I'm going to show you how to create frameworks. Oh, that's super easy. I got y'all. All right. Okay, that was that one. All right. So 3 beliefs that they must hold before they can buy. That the vehicle works, meaning what you teach works. All right. They have to believe that works. If they don't believe that works, then they're not going to, they're out of there. All right. And I talk about how to help them believe that it works. The second, they must believe that they can do it. See, a disempowered person cannot make an empowering decision, right? Like, let me ask you, if a person doesn't believe in themselves, how likely are they to take action and to do something that would make them believe in themselves? Like if a person doesn't believe in themselves, are they probably going to take action? So what we have to do is we have to help people to see not where they are, but where they can be. All right. A lot of times we get so into teaching that we forget it's not B to B, B to C, it's H to H, human to human. All right. Part of why I do that morning mindset call is for you all. I need some of you all to get out of your own way. I need some of you all to realize the things that are holding you back from success. I need you all to realize there are things that you can do to help you move forward faster. That's why I do the morning mindset call. Some of y'all, you're supposed to be here. You have some things that have been holding you back. We're going to get rid of those things, right? And even in my program, I do those morning mindset calls because as an entrepreneur, you need continued mindset help. So they have to believe that they can do it. All right. The third thing they need to believe that now is the moment, because the reality is what? One, tomorrow's not promised. Right? We all know that. Every day, people they don't make it. That's the reality. Tomorrow's not promised. And then what I tell people is, the sooner you get to your dream life, the longer you get to enjoy it. Some of you have people who are counting on you. So you need to act now so you can hurry up and get to where you want to get to. And the longer you delay the work, right? The longer you delay locking in, the longer you delay investing, the longer you delay the blessings. That's right. So they must believe these three things. All right. So a lot of people, they just overly teach, they give all this great info, and people do nothing, right? If you go the bottom, shift, they go, I need this, and then they ask, what's the next step? That's the logical next step. So I'm going to show you how to build this, all right? So again, this prompt right here. Oh, this is so good. Some of y'all gonna be mind blown, right? So you're gonna go back in, you're gonna go back, all right? You're gonna go back in your chat now. You're gonna paste this prompt, all right? Your offer, right? Plus the dream outcome. Who? We already answered that. And then their top objections. That's from yesterday's stack. All right. I don't have that because I'm not doing the same one. I'll put some in there though too. I'll say fear, money, time, will it work? What other objections they have? Oh, cannot present. All right. Getting on camera. Boom, there's some things y'all tell me. All right. Then I give 3 belief shifts my event must create before anyone can buy this vehicle. They personally can do it. Waiting is costing them. All right. For each, give me teaching points and a story of proof and example. All right, so all I did was I fed it that. I filled it in. I fed it the prompt. I told it to go. Belief shift number 1. This vehicle actually works. Current belief, webinars work in 2020. The market is saturated. People don't attend webinars anymore. Well, guess what? The new beliefs, webinars aren't dead. Bad offers, bad messaging, and bad presentations are. If someone can consistently get in front of qualified people and communicate value effectively, webinars are still one of the fastest ways to scale. How crazy is that, y'all? It did the research based on the objections that people have. So you don't even have to think anymore. All right. Teaching point. People don't buy because of the platform. They buy because of certainty. A webinar simply creates more certainty than any real DM or sales page because people spend 60 to 90 minutes with you. Time builds trust. Trust builds authority. Authority creates sales. It's not the webinar. It's what the webinar allows you to do. Y'all. Y'all. So, hey, it don't get no better than this, right? Personal proof. What you would do is over the last 3 years, I've generated $7 million through virtual events. I got a whole lot of screenshots, a whole lot of testimonials, a whole bunch of live stuff. So I would upload those, right? Show the stripe, show the screenshots, show the deposits, show the money coming in, right? Now, I'm not telling you have to show your bank account because, I get it. It's personal stuff, but some form of receipts. All right. It could be a picture of you coaching all these thousands of people, right? Client proof. Joe built one presentation, got his first property in 47 days. Oh, that was yesterday from the one he did. Third party proof. All right. Analogies. These are all the things that help you to be able to do what you need to do to convert higher, y'all. Somebody put good in the chat, right? Is that making sense? Oh, the prompt. Oh, I don't know. You're not getting. No, I'm just playing. I got you. Somebody said, "Well, my prompt that." My fault. I done did all this talking and give you the prompt. I got you right now. Drop it in there. Open in hooks. Oh, that's not the right one. There we go. Perfect. All right, it's in the chat and it's also in the group. All right, so it's in both of those. You're gonna take it. If you already have the same chat over from yesterday, you're offering your dream outcomes there. The audience that should be there. The objections that also would be there from yesterday's stack. All right. If you're using a new chat and it didn't remember, you might have to just refill those in. All right, but that's gonna break down all of the belief shifting things that you will do within your actual offer. All right. Y'all let me know once y'all have that done. All right. I want to make sure I don't go too fast and leave y'all hanging. I'll give y'all 2 minutes. Let me see. Where these cameras at? Let me these cameras. Okay. Y'all locked in. I love it. What's going on, Deborah? How you feeling? Even locked in the whole week. I love it. Bobby, my guy. Leslie, hope all is well. I see you with the cool AI in the back with the two aliens, and then you got your Superwoman cape on. I see you. Shanita, how you feeling over there? I loved the video last night. You definitely cooked. Definitely had the teleprompter popping. I said, oh, she means business, big business. I love it. Somebody said done. Shanita said done. Jasmine said done. Ray said done. I love it. Lenora said done. I'm so AI. Hey, if you ain't using it, you see what we doing with the AI. And we got so much more. AI has changed the game for me, y'all. All right, good. Bet. I love it. All right, we're gonna get to the next thing. So we got 2 down. All right, we have two things down for building out our presentation. We got the hook and the title. All right, and we have the belief shifting prompts that we need to be able to implement. What you'll do with these is you're going to implement these into your slide deck. All right. Part 4 is the sell. All right, this is the sell. This is where most people get scared. My job is to make it easy for you all. But the framework we got is super easy, right? The transition is everything. See, you know what to do. You know what to do. Some of you want help doing it. Do I have permission to show you that? Right? See how different that is than just, hey, how are you, buy my stuff? So we must transition into a pitch. All right. A lot of people, they don't know what to do. When you don't know what you don't know. So when you don't know, I understand it, right? But different components you want in your close, right? One, you need a transition. We call it a bridge. All right. You know, take people from a place where they are to the gap, which is your outcome. 2, you need an offer plus a stack. We talked about that yesterday. All right, your offer stack plus bonuses. 3 is price versus value. Price versus value. 4 is a guarantee. All right, we talked about that yesterday, the guarantee that you have in there. 5 is going to be some sort of ethical scarcity in an actual deadline, right? I'm not telling you make up stuff. Some people be like, oh, 150 spots. No, take as much as the capacity you can handle. All right. And then 6 is 1 CTE repeated 3 times. And I'm going to break down the different ways that you do that to where you can repeat it multiple times. All right. So now what we do is we're going to build the transition into our CTA. So I just told you what to do. All right. But now we're going to build a simple outline for that. All right. So it's going to say, I'm going to drop it in here early. All right. Perfect. I dropped it in there. All right. I'm gonna drop it in the group as well. And we're gonna cook. All right. My event teaches your 3 shifts. All right. My offer is that should be saved. If not, you fill it in. Write 3 transition lines that move from teaching into the offer without zero awkwardness, framed as a service. It's an actual service, not a pitch. Because we don't want it to sound too pitchy, right? Write my close, stack, recap, price, value, framing, guarantee, and honest scarcity line, and 1 clear CTA repeated 3 ways. Y'all. So all we're gonna do, we're gonna take it, we're literally gonna copy it, and we're gonna put it in. Right? So based on everything we've built, the transition should never feel like, now let me sell you. All your transition is be like, now let me help you implement it. Like the opportunity you guys have. It will be me helping you implement this stuff and to be able to scale it and give you more direction, certainty, and clarity. All right, simple. A transition. Over the last few days, my goal wasn't to convince you to buy anything. My goal was to prove to you 3 things: that this system works, which you can absolutely do it, and waiting is more expensive than taking action. But if you're anything like I was, you probably aren't wondering what to do anymore. You're probably wondering how to pull all these pieces together without spending the next years figuring it out through trial and error. That's exactly what Pitch to Profit is. All right, simple. This is for you all when you're going into the offer from the last teaching points, how you can transition. All right, it's going to give you different ways and different forms to transition. Then you get into a close. All right, let's recap what we built together: how to package your expertise into a irresistible offer, how to attract qualified buyers instead of chasing leads, how to structure a presentation that builds trust and sells naturally, how to overcome objections before they're ever asked, how to leverage AI to build your messaging, presentations, content, and systems faster. Imagine where your business could be if you actually implemented all of that consistently over 90 days. Y'all, is that good or is that good? Shoot, I'm ready to buy, and it's my own offer. Right? Right? Is that good or is that good? All the power of this, understanding these are the small the details and the components that people miss out. All right. So y'all take that prompt, y'all build y'all's out. Let me know once y'all are done. I want to make sure that y'all get that together, so that y'all are good. All right. My guy Steven said, very good. That's good. That's good. That's good. My goal of these next 6 months is I need to create some more millionaires, y'all. I need some of y'all to come ready to rock and roll. Who the next millionaire in the room? That's what I want to know. Who's next? We did 8 this year, 8 in the past 12 months. I gotta beat the past 12 months though. I need 16 this next 12-month run. All right. Good. I'm spraying. I love it. I love it. I love it. Me, God is good. Now, God not good. God is great. God is great. What do you say all the time? Shanita said it's me. I love it. Let's grow. Let's grow. Let's grow. I love it. All right. Let me see. All right. So that's step 4. Got step 4. All right. AI builds the whole thing. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a master prompt. One prompt, your entire event drafted. All right. This right here, this is some of my 7-figure CEO level sauce. All right. I was gonna save this one, but I love the energy in this group. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna drop one of the prompts we use to be able to build out the outlines. All right. Build up the outlines. So what you're gonna do is essentially, all right, perfect. We'll go right here. We come in, drop it in the group. I just dropped it in the group. Drop it here. I just dropped it in the group as well. All right. So when we use this, what this does is it builds out our outline in order. Our outline in order. All right. So everything from the event title, the open, the promise, the belief shifts 2, right? The all the way through the transitions, the offer, all right, the bonuses, the guarantee, the scarcity, right? Everything, y'all, your outline is there. So when people say, well, it sounds like a lot. Yo, does this sound like a lot? Like, be honest with me. Like, I know some of y'all have been thinking all week, oh, this sounds like a lot. It's not a lot when you're in the right environment. It's not a lot when you have the blueprint. It's not a lot when you learn how to leverage AI. It's not a lot when you're around someone who does this on a day-to-day basis, right? The problem is when we're trying to figure out everything on our own, it's a lot. All right. Someone said, can you go back to the prompt? I dropped it in the chat and in the group too, but yeah, it's right here. All right. All right, good. It's going to draft out your full first event. All you gotta do is implement. That's it. All right. Are we good on that? All y'all done? Whoever done with that, but just put done. So I'm gonna make sure y'all good. Good, 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 good. Now imagine taking this presentation and you happen to show up once a week. All right. Once a week and do a presentation and print and get better every single week and get more people every single week. All right. The key to this thing is being disciplined. So when I came up, you're like, let's say you're spending, let's say you spend $1, you make 4 back. Now you spend 4, you make 16 back. You want to reinvest into your business, all right, making your business grow. Because you're going to make a lot of money, but I don't want you to think just I'm making all this money. Now you go buying all these new cars, all these new jewelry, all these things quick. Now you got to be disciplined. I didn't buy my dream car till after I had already made $1 million, right? So the key with this thing isn't just the skill set, right? What you also need is when I talk about mindset, you got to think and grow rich. Right? You can't just grow rich. You got to think and grow rich, right? So you want to be disciplined. What I mean is discipline. Discipline is the key. All right. All right. Listen, 48 hours ago, right? You had neither. All right. You had neither. Now you have an offer that people feel dumb saying no to, and you have an event that sells, y'all. You have an event that sells. All right. The room, the open, the shift, the sell. and an offer that you know is very good, right? This is my guy Carrington. Carrington generated $240,000 in one day. I know some of y'all be saying, what? Yes, a single day through a live virtual event. All right. The right offer, the right audience, and the presentation to actually scale. All right. J Matt B, he actually gonna come tomorrow. All right. He's gonna come on, talk to y'all a little bit about what he's been able to do. But my guy made $135,000 on his first challenge. Then he turned around and he did a $300,000 day on his second virtual event. All right. He's doing weekly webinars. He's crushing it with that as well. All right. Now, here's the honest part. Can I be honest with y'all? Somebody say transparency. Transparency. Let me know in the chat. Transparency. All right. As I've been all week. All right. I know that this week was about creating momentum. All right. You have an outline, right? You have the outline. You have the offer. You have momentum. You know that you can do this, but the outline isn't the event. All right. Slides, tech, traffic. All right. Direction, confidence. Right. The first one is always rough. Most people, they don't run it. But what happens is they try to go and do all these things on their own, right? And that's why they stay stuck. All right. How many of you all feel like you would benefit, realistically, how many of you feel like you would benefit by having me coach you over the next 2.5 to 3 months? How many of you feel like you would benefit from that? Like that would help you get to where you're looking to get to faster. All right. If that is you, put me. If it's not, no worries. All right. But for you all right, who want someone to walk you through this, I want y'all to imagine, right? Imagine one event built once, running every week. All right. You hit go, you fill the room, the offer sells, and you don't have to be on calls burnt out. 10 weeks from now, that's how your business will look. If you come in, you do the work, and you are coachable. All right. Y'all heard Coach Dev. He came in, I think he was doing 5 to 10. 5 to 10. He just had a $62,000 month. Not a year, a month. All right. The reality is you know what to do, but some of you want help doing it with me in the room live coaching, redirection, certainty. So what I want to do is I want to show you all that. All right. Do I have permission to break down this opportunity and this offer for you? If so, just put me in the chat. All right. If you don't want to hear about the offer, perfectly fine. We got a class tomorrow. We gonna go crazy. All right. Now, for those of y'all who want to take the next step, you want to spend time, you want to be one of those people who, make these next 6 months your best 6 months. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the offer, the opportunity, and I'm going to break it down step by step. Right? Here we go. Perfect. Now, I know some of y'all are thinking, well, Darius, I heard your price is crazy, right? What I will tell you, it's not going to be 15,000. It's not going to be 10,000. It's not even going to be 7,500. All right, here's what I'll tell you. We're going to go so crazy. The reason Dev said, I don't know what you're charging, because Dev, when he got on my program, it was $10,000. But for you all today, it's going to be less than $5,000. All right. And the reason I'm doing this is because, again, I have a mission to help more people make more money faster. All right. So what I want to present to you all is the Pitch2Profit mentorship. All right. The number one mentorship in the world. Right. We produced the most millionaires in the last year, the most $100,000 days in the last year for coaches, experts, consultants, and people who are good at what they do, who want to start teaching what they do. All right. So the way it's going to work is in our 10-week mentorship. All right. Our 10-week mentorship. Right. What we're going to have is weekly mastermind calls where every single week you all meet with me. Why do I do that? Because, again, I'm going to pour into you. All right, I'm not holding back anything. I'm going to teach you all how to pre-frame. I'm going to teach you how to sell. I'm going to teach you how to set up your systems. I'm going to teach you all how to make sure you guys have what you need, how to drive traffic, how to create content, how to leverage OPA, all of these things. All right, I'm going to give you all my perfect offer framework. Create an offer people are excited to buy. What we did this week is we created a core offer. Now we have something called ascension offers. We have something called low ticket offers. We have something called bridge offers. We have premium high ticket offers, right? I'm gonna show you, some of y'all, you ready to have a $15,000 to $20,000 offer. Some of y'all, you're doing high 6-7 figures in your business. I'm gonna teach you how to create that premium, how to create VIP days and things of that nature. All the things we're doing in our business. Y'all, I'm gonna give y'all my 7-figure webinar blueprint. All right, you're gonna get access to over 20 webinar recruitings that have generated more than $1 million in different industries. All right. The perfect funnel system. How many of y'all, when you register for this event, you like the funnel, right? You see the funnel, everything from when you opted in to the survey, to the bridge sales, to the thank you page, right? We're going to break down the perfect funnel system, everything you need to turn clicks into book calls and sales. You need a funnel. All right. Funnel is a system. System stands for saving you some time, energy, and money. My AI business blueprint. All right. How many of y'all like the AI stuff this week? You thought it was amazing. Well, guess what? It gets better. It gets way better. We got AI stuff that can build out everything from your whole content strategy to your ad creatives to the messaging on your opt-in page to the whole webinar, through the back end of the webinar to your sales scripts, every single thing you need. All right. We have mastered this AI stuff. That's how we're able to go from idea to execution faster than most business owners. I'm going to give you all those prompts that we can utilize. All right. The unlimited content system, right? Never run out of content again, and repeatable system for generating posts, hooks, and offers on demand. How many of us are afraid of creating content, or we don't know where to start? I've been where you're at. I get it. You're like, man, I don't know what to think, right? I used to be scared as heck to create content until I created a system. I'm going to give you all the system to consistently show up and consistently post. All right. 7-figure one-to-many sales system. Yo, I told y'all earlier, I already know that some of you, you're like, well, what about the presentation? Well, guess what? I'm going to show you how to handle objections and close more clients confidently using a proven one-to-many selling structure. All right. I'm going to show you how to connect with stories. All right. How to use punchlines. Right. When to say what. All right. I got you. All right. The 7-figure email system. Now, emails, text messages, automations, and workflows. I know a couple of you asked, well, how do you set that part up? Don't worry, we're going to help you with that part. We have tech calls in our program because we realized that tech was an issue. So we stopped it. And that's why we can help anyone, whether you're 18, whether you're 80 years old, it doesn't matter. We're going to help you with the tech part because I know that's the part. I'm not good with tech. So guess what? This is something that I know from experience. So we take that out of the equation. All right. My exact funnel templates. You guys are going to get plug and play systems step by step, showing you exactly how to set up everything so you're not left guessing. All right. I'm not the coach that want to have you spending 10 weeks, you setting up stuff. No, my goal is to get y'all up by week 2. First webinar by week 3. So now you cooking. Now you start doing your first presentation. Now you start making money. Now you're starting to scale. And now you come back, you say, Darius, okay, good. Here's where I was at. Here's where I messed up. We get feedback and we grow. Just like what Dev did. He came in the first one. He's like, I'm getting to the pitch. People aren't closing. Okay, good. This is what we're going to do. We're going to tweak the messaging. We're going to tweak the verbiage. We're going to stay on our pitch longer. All right. 7-figure webinar templates. Y'all, you don't even have to guess. I have a template that we use across me and all of our high-level students. You guys are going to get the template. So all you have to do is plug the stuff into the templates. All the stuff you built out today, it's a plug and play. You upload it. And then you take your testimonials, or whether it's you, your students, your clients, and we upload this as well. All right. Our in-person mastermind. Y'all, I love in-persons. I love getting to spend time with you all, building this thing out in person. I love, having you all come out to Atlanta where we can build these things out, where we can grow together, where we can love on each other, be in an environment that's conducive. So we're going to break down our in-person event, which is going to be next month. Next month, we're doing it. All right. Literally 30 days from now, I believe. I think it's a Saturday, August 15th. All right. And the last one, y'all, is Darius AI, right? 24/7 hour bot. So even when you're not with me, even when you're not spending time with me, you still have access to me. So we created a custom bot that our students are using, going crazy, where literally you can ask me anything about your business. Content, marketing, sales, funnels, automation. The stuff you can do with it is on another level. You guys get access to that. All right. Once you guys are on the inside. All right. OPA marketing strategy. Right? You guys want to learn how to get on theme pages, how to get on podcasts. I've been on every podcast there is. You want to get on Bandman Kevo. You want to get on Marvin Francois. You want to get on American Income. You want to get on $1 million worth of game. I've been on all the platforms. I have the relationships. All right. So you guys are going to get access to those relationships as well. All right. So everything you need to build this thing out, to grow this thing and make money, you're going to have the opportunity to do so. All right. Now, 2 ways that you all are going to be able to secure your spot. All right. We have 2 options. All right. We have 2 options. All right. I'm going to drop the link. All right. And congratulations. 4 of you already did. I know Raylan already did. I know Andrew already did. And I know Dante already did. I just dropped the link. Once you all are in, say I'm in. Now I'm going to break this part down. You have 2 options. All right. You can pay in full to $3,500 if you want. You click that link. It'll allow you to do that. Or you can simply put down a $500 deposit, right? And you're going to get on the phone with the team. As soon as you put down your deposit, the team's going to get on the phone with you and they're going to help you make the remainder of your payment. You have 3 options. You have pay in full. We have financing. We finance with over 6 different companies, right? We can help people with as low as a 580 credit score. We've helped people with as low as that. Doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get financed, but you give yourself an opportunity. And then the third option is we have in-house payment plans. All right. So you have 3 different options to take advantage of the opportunity. When you pay in full, you're only paying $3,500, which is a steal because some of you all know you've been on my other ones. Typically, we sell this at $7,500 to $10,000, and that's not capped. Some of you literally in here have been on there. All right. If you do decide that you want to do a payment plan, meaning split payments up, then it is only still $5,000, right? So you put down your deposit. If you still want to pay the remainder in full, when you get on the call, you can pay the remainder, or you can get financed and it will still honor that $3,500 spot. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, Darius, what if I put down my 500 and I don't get in? Here's what I will tell you. I will never take your money and not give you anything in return. So what will happen is when you put down your deposit, you get instant access to my digital mastermind course and also a year access in our community, in the community. All right. You put down your deposit, you get on the phone with the team, and they help you get into the mentorship. Or you pay in full to be one of those first spots to where you can lock in and get access to everything and get started immediately. All right. First 5 pay in full bonuses. All right. First 5 pay in full bonuses. All right. You get a one-on-one implement fast track strategy call with me. All right. That's the first 5 pay in full. And then the second thing is we got VIP dinner next month when we come out to our in-person event. All right. So the first 5 we pay in full, you guys will be able to take advantage of that next month. All right. Want to make sure any questions that y'all have, that y'all take advantage. So any questions y'all have about the offer, you guys can either drop it in the group or you can raise your hand. But I want to make sure we got clarity and certainty. All right. Once you are in, say I'm in. I want to make sure we congratulate you and we show you love. All right. A lot of you all this whole week, you've been saying, listen, this is what I need to get to my next level. I always tell people your next level requires sacrifice. And like I told you at the beginning of the week, what are we willing to sacrifice in order to get to our next level, right? I remember when I invested in my first mastermind, literally, it was with my guy, Runway Billionaire, years ago. And he had something just like this. And he was like $10,000. And I'm like, $10,000? I'm not paying nobody $10,000. So I'm watching people invest and I'm looking and I'm thinking they're crazy. And I start following the people who are on the call. Literally, I'm following their journey. So I see this one dude, he posted the first month, like $3,000. I'm like, all right, maybe he was already making that. The second month, I saw him post $11,500. The third month, I saw him post $17,000, like $800 a month. Then like the fourth month, he posted a $42,000 a month. Then I seen this other girl, she had did the same thing. And I remember thinking to myself, how much did it cost me to sit on the sideline? And I remember thinking, damn, what if I would have invested? What if I would have been there? I probably would have been doing the same thing they would have been doing. Now, some of you may think, well, it cost me $42,000 for watching, but what it really cost me was 6 months of having to wait, 6 months of being in the same position, 6 months of not having the blueprint to be able to get to where I was looking to get to faster, right? 6 months. You all have the information, but we need the implementation. We need the guidance. All right. We said we want to better our situation, but I tell people, show me, don't tell me. Why? Because your actions tell a lot about what we actually want. Some of you, you're about to make the best decision of your life. 6 months from now, life will look totally different. 6 months from now, I'm gonna be coming on your calls to be a guest speaker on your call. That's what we do in my program. You start building up, you start doing your thing. Y'all probably, some of y'all, you've seen me on one of your people's calls, one of their events, one of their webinars, one of their challenges, whatever it may be, right? But they had to make that decision to lock in. And I'm challenging you all to don't let the next 6 months be like the last 6 months. Don't go into the second half of this year or the fourth quarter of this year still in the same position. Some of you have a gift, you have a skill set. You have an opportunity to not just change your life, but change other people's lives. Don't just sit on that, right? Some of us, we allow fear to override faith. What I tell people is you can operate in fear, you can operate in faith, but you can never operate in both, right? And I remember at that time, that thing was holding me back. But one thing I do is I learn quickly. I learned quickly from my mistakes. I said, no, if I want to be balling, I have to go all in. See, some people, we want the end result. We want the life that we want. We want the things we want. We want the car we want. We want the house we want. But what are we willing to do to go get it? What are we willing to do to go get it? Like, if I want to get to my destination faster, right? Like, we're all here because we want to get to where we want to get to faster. But in order to get to faster, what do we need? What do we do when we get in that car when we want to get to that store we want to get to? We put it in the GPS. The reason we put it in the GPS is because what? Because we're looking to get to our destination faster. We don't want to hit traffic. We don't want to get up at the wrong exit. If you get up at the wrong exit in Atlanta, you're done. Your day is over, right? You miss out on the opportunity. And I'm telling you that because some of you right now, you're driving in traffic. I'm looking to be your GPS so I can take you to where you're looking to get to. It's no coincidence that Devers had $62,000 months. It's not a coincidence that Ty and Keisha, who's going to come up in a few, they did $50,000 no month. It's no coincidence. It's confirmation. Some of you in here, you have the cure to help somebody. You have the ability to help somebody. And some of you, you're making money. You're making money right now, but what I call it is settling, right? And everything that settles lands at the bottom. So I tell people never settle. Never settle when you got a gift, you got a skill set that can help somebody. Worst thing we can do. Because there are people out there who need what you have that you need to have to offer. I tell people, what did I tell y'all this morning? I said selling and serving at the highest level. Someone has a sickness, you have the cure. They need your cure. But because you won't shine your light and because you won't step up and become the person to give them the cure, they have to suffer. They have to suffer, which means they can't get to where they're looking to get to, y'all. And I know some of you in here, you're worried about, well, what if it doesn't work for me, right? Anyone worried about that? I remember thinking that my first time I invested. What if it doesn't work? Well, here's what I realized. Two things. We have to change our thinking from what if it doesn't work to when it will work. Why? Because I told you at the beginning of the week, you have to speak those things that are not as though they are, y'all. It's called power in the tongue. If you go into something thinking bad, you get bad. If you go into thinking great, you think great. See, I feel like every day I wake up by the grace of God, I pray, do my thing, and I feel like I can't miss. Now, are things perfect? Of course not. But I win more times than I lose. Why? Because I operate with a mindset of it has to work. Some of you, you're giving yourself options. You're giving yourself choices. All right. Coach Shay said, my son and I are in business together. Is there a group rate? What I'll tell you, Coach Shay, is put down your deposit, get on the phone with the team, and they will talk to you about some group rates since you and your son are coming in together. Yes. And if y'all live in the same house, I don't know if y'all live in the same house, but if you live in the same house, then yes, you just lock in one. If you guys live in different areas or whatever, then they'll talk about a group rate for y'all. All right. Same house, you're good. You just lock in one spot. All right. I ain't gonna tell. If y'all got a significant other, y'all, it says in the Bible, you're one. You come together as one. I'm not tripping about making two different people in a household pay. No, that's your household, right? So 100%, you're good. Congratulations. All right. Any other questions that anybody has? If so, y'all let me know. I want to make sure y'all good, right? Some of you here, you need an environment. You need an environment change. Your environment right now does not match who you are. It doesn't match where you want to be. Your environment is not conducive to the life that you want. You want to go here. You want to get to, you try to get to $1 million a year. Your friends, they talking about that $50,000 a year job, and they talking about they just want a $10 raise. See, the problem with that is you're going to start talking about your dreams, your goals, and they're going to try to trick you out your spot. Or they're going to say, all you talk about is that business. See, I told you yesterday when my environment changed, my life changed, my bank account changed, right? You can only grow to what you're exposed to. Like, I got a cousin. He's in college. 22 years old. He's a senior. His whole life, great kid. He up at the college. His aunt called me and said, oh, you gotta talk to your nephew. He's smoking weed. I'm like, he ain't never smoked weed in his life. I had a conversation. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, man, I think I just got caught up in the college life. I said, man, you better snap out of it. Well, what is my point in telling you this is? Even though he was a kid who's never touched any drug, never done anything, his environment was predicated on where he will be. Some people think they're going to outwork their environment. You can't. You either change your environment or your environment changes you. Lenora said, I'm all in. Paid. Congratulations. Welcome to the family, Lenora. I'm excited. Lenora's in. Rayla's in. Andrew's in. Javar's in. Eddie's in. Sasha's in. Congratulations. That's 8 spots down. Who else is coming with the team to the finish line, y'all? How often you offer mentorship? This is probably the last one for a little while. All right. How does your in-house financing work? So what's going to happen is once you put down your deposit, you get on the phone with the team. They're going to work out different in-house payment plans for you. They're going to break down the logisticals on whether it's a 2-pay, 3-pay. They're going to work that out for you. Yep, I got you. They're going to help you walk you through that process. All right. When do we meet? Someone asked. We meet every Tuesday, all right, at 7 p.m. Every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Those are our mastermind calls. All right. What I'm going to do with you all who lock in with the family, we're going to do some fast track calls to where we're going to have our own separate calls, either on probably like a Sunday. We'll do a fast track hours. I want to get y'all going faster. So we'll like build some stuff out in one day where it will be a whole lot of just getting it in. And then what we'll do is our Tuesday calls will be then more, you know, where you at, what are you working on, what are you struggling with, how can I make sure that I get you to that next level faster. All right. But typically we meet on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. We also have tech and automation calls. Those are on every other Saturday. We also have a content coach. So some of y'all that struggle with content, those calls are every other Wednesday. All right. We also have a sales call. All right. So some of y'all, you might struggle on those phones. Guess what? We got you. We're going to help you come across the finish line with those phones. All right. After you do your webinar, you might do a book a call. Then we're gonna make sure that you get confident on these calls to be able to close the actual people. Every objection you have or every reason that you might not make it work, we're gonna make sure you make it work. All right. That's a great question. Any other questions y'all got too? Make sure that y'all drop it in. All right. Y'all, I'm super excited. Listen, for those of you who are thinking, right? Some of y'all are thinking right now, do I have the time? All right. I know how it goes. You're thinking, well, do I have the time to commit to this? This is what I would tell you. If you are in a place where right now you do not have the time, the reason you do not have the time is why you need to learn how to buy back your time. If you don't have time right now and you keep doing what you've been doing, which haven't been giving you time, then how are we going to get to a place where we have more time? When you implement this system, this buys you back your time. This is the thing that buys you back your time. You have to learn how to sell one to many. You have to learn how to show up one time a week and to be able to run your business instead of doing calls every single day. The reason you don't have time is because you got too many calls, too many one-on-ones. You're burnt out. You look at the calendar and you're mad. No, you have to get to a place where we understand leverage. So the reality is you don't have time not to invest in the opportunity to learn how to create a system that buys back your time. Time is the most important resource we have. Anyone ever heard the term time is money? Anybody ever heard that term? Time is money. Time. How many of us like we believe that that's real? Like time is money. Any of us you believe that? Okay, good. Let me tell y'all something, because we're family now. Time is money is probably the dumbest quote ever. I know some of y'all may be like, what? Time is money is not real. Here's why. Time is infinitely more important than money. If I told y'all I have $100,000 for the first person to meet me in Atlantic Station, right? How many of you all would come? How many of you all would be like, listen, I'm on my way. Like I'm coming to get that 100,000, right? But if you came to me and I gave you the bag and I told you, if you walk off with this bag, you only have 48 hours to live, would you still want the bag? You wouldn't. Why wouldn't you want the bag? Why wouldn't you want the bag, Deborah? I see you shaking it. Why wouldn't you want the bag, Shanita? Why wouldn't you want the bag, Tuaka? Why wouldn't you? The reason you wouldn't want the bag is because time is infinitely more important than money. See, all the money in the time, all the money in the world without the time is useless. All the money in the world without the time is useless. Warren Buffett, they did an interview on Warren Buffett. You know what they said on the interview? They asked him, they said, hey, would you trade all the money you have to go back to your 40s? He said, I wouldn't think twice. He said, I'm out of here. What is all the money without the time, y'all? So this is why I tell you, the sooner you get to your dream life, the longer you get to enjoy it. It doesn't matter whether you're 20, you're 30, you're 50, you're 80, you're 95. It doesn't matter. Hurry up and figure out how to buy back more of your time so you can enjoy more of your life. Some of y'all, you have people who are counting on you. Some of you, you have kids who are counting on you. Some of us, we got people who literally are relying on us. Like if we don't go, they can't grow. And if you think I'm talking to you, I'm probably talking to you. You're the person in your family that everybody comes to you for advice. Is that anybody here? You're the person that everybody asks for everything. Man, I got these problems. You're like, here you go again. Man, can I borrow some money? Here you go again. Man, can I pick your brain? Here you go again. Is that annoying sometimes? You feel like, man, I wish they always want to do that, right? Well, here's what I'll challenge you to do. I'll challenge you to change your thinking. Instead of thinking, man, I have to do that. How about you think, no, I get to do that. My sister asks me for money 6 times a week. She don't even say hi. She just send cash out requests. And at first I'm like, man, it's annoying. But you know what? I said I'm blessed because I get to do that. Some people in their lives, they've never been asked for anything. So I want you to think next time you think about yourself, I want you to step up and become the person to make the money you need to make so that when your cousins or your sister or your brother ask you for things, you have the ability, you say, you know what, go take that. See, we got to shift the way we think. You have to shift the way you think. Not, no, I got to. How about I get to? Not, oh, I got to go do this. No, I get to do this thing. Rosalind said, give me your cash app. I am your lost sister. Hey, I'm telling you, it's the worst, right? It's the worst. All right. Listen, I don't believe in coincidences. I tell you that all the time. I believe in confirmation. I believe everybody is here because they're supposed to be. All right. Everybody is here because they're supposed to be. I believe that you showed up this week to create momentum. Right? Think about all the momentum. How many of you feel like you created momentum? Why would we create momentum and then go back to doing things on our own, or go back to doing things around people who can't help us get to where we're looking to get to? See, one thing I learned in life 2 years ago is you have to submit and you have to UYM. You have to use your mentor. 86% of people who are millionaires, they attest their success to what? To mentors. Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady. What do they all have in common? They all have coaches. Denzel Washington, what does he have? He has a coach. Will Smith, what does he have? A coach. When you were in class, when you were in school, what did the people who always got A's do? I never got good grades, but you know what I never had? I never had a tutor. All right. But the girl next to me, I remember, she always had a tutor. So what did she always do? She always got A's. People are trying to figure out, how do I become successful? It's very easy. You have to use the thinking that outthinks you. It's very simple. How can I go a place I've never gone by myself? Someone said, I'm sorry, I missed it. One of the weekly mastermind calls. Those are Tuesday at 7 p.m. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. We also have calls other days as well. We're going to break down our whole schedule this upcoming Monday on our onboarding call. So we're going to have a group onboarding call. Y'all going to get instant access to y'all course material, mentorship portal. And then we're going to meet this Monday to do an onboarding call where I'm going to break down every single thing we need. All right. I got y'all. All right. Hey, Bobby, you need to lock back in with me. You building out something big. You need to lock in with me so I can help you turn that thing up. All right. Hey, you know what happened when you locked in last time, right? There's always another level. I tell you, there's always another level. Y'all, this last 2 weeks, let me see if I can show you. The last 2 weeks, I've invested over $40,000 in myself. Why? Because I can't not pour into me and continue to pour into y'all. That don't make no sense. Shanita said I'm in. Rob, I also see you. You're in. Asia, I also see you. You're in. My bad. I done missed a couple of y'all. My bad. Who else is in? Let me know you're in. That's 15 spots gone. 15 spots gone. See, we call the chosen few, and then there's the mediocre many. What I tell people is this. You know what the chosen few do? They do everything that everyone else is not willing to do. I remember when I was getting into entrepreneurship, people were like, Darius, come outside. People were like, Darius, why are you always studying? Why are you always making sacrifices? Why do you keep investing in yourself? Why do you keep paying these people? That's what people can say. Why do you keep paying these people for information? But when I looked at my environment, the people around me, they were the exact reason I kept paying, because I realized that the life I was living, the things I was doing wasn't going to get me to my goals. I couldn't do something I never saw. I couldn't get to a place that I wanted to get in the environment that wasn't serving me. And some of you here are already making money, but here's what I tell to you, more. You're already making money. Some of you already making 100,000, 200,000. Some of you already making 7 figures. Guess what? I can help you get to 7 mil. Why? Because I can only take you where I've been. You cannot teach what you haven't done. You cannot lead where you haven't gone. See, here's the reality. Some of us, we're listening to our cousin right now, and they in your ear saying, oh, you don't need that. You could just YouTube it. How many YouTube millionaires you know? Tell me. I personally never met one. How many do you know? How many Google millionaires do we know? How many ChatGPT millionaires do we know? Y'all, when you get a mentor equals shortcut, right? What a mentor does is not just teach. What a mentor does, the best thing I can give you is confidence. Confidence. You know what confidence comes from? Confidence. The root of confidence is confide. If you look up confide, it's to trust in oneself. The problem is when we're doing things on ourselves from a place of unknowing, we don't have any trust because we don't know. But what happens is you borrow my confidence as you're developing your own. Cannot have said, in your mentorship, do you teach systems and who and when to hire? 100%. Absolutely. We have a whole systems call every other Saturday, right? We have a whole systems call. And you guys get snapshots of the actual funnels and things that we utilize. All right. But yes, in terms of hiring, 100%. We got resources for y'all need closers. We got closer placement. You guys need VAs. We can direct you to resources for VAs. I show you how to hire, when to hire, what the best interview process is for the people that you're hiring. All right. Because a big thing that people have is they think when you hire a VA that you're just getting a 10 out of 10. No, we teach you how to vet the proper VAs that actually come in and produce, or the proper client success managers, or the proper sales managers. All right. So everything from interview to hiring to second interview. I'm sorry, interview to a second interview to hiring process. How to go about that. 100%. Great question. All right. Great question. Great question. Great question. All right. Any other questions that anyone has, right? What I want to do is I want to call up somebody who locked in. I want to congratulate somebody who locked in. If you locked in your spot, just put me. All right. I see there's like 15 of y'all. So I want to call one of y'all up, and I want to have you talk to the people. I'm gonna have Shanita, I'm gonna have you come off mute. I want to know what made you make that decision to go all in on yourself.
Perfect. Hey, I'm excited.
Yes.
Been doing this business now for 20 years, roughly 20 years, med spa business, and then started to do the school and did it all by myself. No training, no help, none of that. And it's just been a rocky road the entire time. So this past year, I decided to invest in myself and, learn what I need from people who are who've been there and who are doing that. So that's what I set out to do. But what resonated with me were the pain points that you were hitting that I have had in the past. So that's what made me decide to start working with you. And I'm looking for that one-on-one too. Just saying.
Yeah. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. I got you. I want to say congratulations. Welcome to the family. I'm super excited. I knew from the beginning of the week, I'm like, nah, she already got a foundation. You're gonna go crazy. And you've already been doing it. So it's about tweaks, bringing this thing online and really scaling this thing. So I'm excited for you. Congratulations. And I can't wait to see you on the other side. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Shanita gonna go crazy, y'all. Who next? I'm gonna have one more person come up. All right. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Listen, for y'all, some of y'all, the team saying, hey, people need the deposit link. What I'll tell you is, if you can't do the 3,500 on one card, that's fine. Do your deposit. At least give yourself a chance, right? That $500 deposit that you all put down, that doesn't go towards anything. That goes towards access to my course, which has over $2,000 worth of value in it, right? So even if you're a person where you get on there, you give yourself an opportunity. Like, don't leave here and not give yourself an opportunity to at least talk to the team. I don't want you to look back a year from now and say, damn, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I wish I would have, right? Nah, everything in my life, I say it has to work or it has to work. Why would we not give ourselves a chance? I told y'all, every single day you wake up. Every single day you wake up, you get two C's. You get a chance and you get a choice. You get a chance and you get a choice. You get a chance to be better. You get a chance to do better, be around better, and you get choices. And what I'm here to tell you is, some of us, what we don't realize is, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. I'm gonna say that again. Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. So when we don't make a decision, we're choosing to stay the same. When we say we want to make progress, we want to get to the life we want to get to, it requires you to make a choice. If you do what you've been doing, right? Is it fair to say, if I do what I've been doing, I'll probably keep getting the same result? Like, I remember, like, when I was, the first 6 businesses I failed, tried e-com, tried drop shipping, tried to run an ads agency, tried the content thing. I tried the webinars on my own, tried the funding on my own. Y'all, 6 times, 6 failed businesses. See, I couldn't get to a new level until I was willing to sacrifice something. See, God was telling me, listen, you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting the same result. This is how it's going to work. This is how it's going to work. First, he's going to stress you, then he's going to bless you. First, he's going to stress you, then he's going to test you, then he's going to bless you. But the problem is, a lot of us, we get to the test, the point where we're supposed to go all in on ourselves, this point where we're supposed to be obedient to our calling, and what do? We revert back. I told you yesterday, every person has an opportunity where you're either going to retreat or you're going to push forward. You're going to retreat or you're going to push forward. There is no between, y'all. There is no between. Everybody wants a handout, but you have to be willing to put a hand up. What do I mean by that? You ask for the blessings. We ask for the opportunities. We get the opportunities. We're here because we know we need to take advantage of the opportunity so someone can walk us from where we are to where we want to be. And we make up an excuse. We give ourselves all the reasons why things won't work, why things can't work. Y'all, success is as simple as a decision. You know what decision means? The difference between a decision and a choice is when people give themselves choices is and or. When people make a decision, right? The Latin root of decision is decise, is to cut off all options. If you ever heard the story of Burn the Boats, it was this group, they went on an island and they were looking for gold, right? And after 4.5 hours of looking for gold, most people say, all right, let's go back. There's nothing here. By the time they went back to the boat was burnt. Because there was one person who said, we're not leaving here until we find the gold. 4.5 hours later, they find the gold. The point is, y'all, you have to burn the boats and give up your old life in order to get to your new life. If I want a different outcome, I must be willing to do the things that are required. Think about it. If I want a different outcome, I must be willing to do the things that are required. I heard Usain Bolt on an interview a couple months ago. And Usain Bolt, he's the fastest man on the planet, right? And I love to tell the story because it's so parallel to us in entrepreneurship. So they were interviewing him and they would say, man, do you get nervous before your races? They were interviewing Usain Bolt. They said, do you get nervous before your races? And he says, yes, I still get anxious before the race. And everyone was surprised. They're like, you're the fastest man. It looks so easy. And he said, well, the reason it looks so easy because I've done it hundreds of times now. That was the first thing he said. The second thing he said was, he said, I get nervous only at the start. Why? Because the only time everybody is even, the hardest part is starting. He said, once I get to about 30, 40 meters, everything gets easier. And when I think about our business, I thought that's so true. The hardest part is starting, y'all. You realize that? The hardest part isn't once momentum's rolling. It's at the start. That's why this week I needed you to show up every day. I needed you to create. I needed you to build, not just listen, because I needed you to become someone new so you can have more. I needed you to become better so you can have better. I needed you to become better so you can do bigger. I needed you to think bigger so you can have bigger. It's about creating momentum. You've done that. Now it's the easy part. The easy part is now saying, okay, I'll become this person. I have this foundation. Now let me build off of it. The worst thing we could do is restart over. Let me go walk back to the blocks. Let me go walk back, like you say, but let me go walk back to the starting blocks and start over. We're now got to worry about being at zero. We're now have to worry about doing this thing on my own. Listen, y'all here, y'all wasn't meant to fit in. You're not meant to do what everyone else does. I had this self-realization years ago. I wasn't meant to fit in. We are meant to stand out. You are meant to be above average. You're already above average, but you have to max out your potential. Imagine going through life and you get to the end and you say, damn, I didn't give it everything I got. They say, Darius, why you go so hard? People would text me all the time, why are you always doing this run? Why are you always doing a podcast run? Why are you always running all these ads? I say, I wasted too much time being mediocre. I wasted too much time not being the best version of myself. I wasted too much time doing what everyone else told me to do. When the key is you have more in you. You have breath in your lungs. You have the ability to breathe every single day. Every single day. Why would you not max up? Harvard did a study on people who were on their deathbeds, and they asked them, hey, do you have any regrets in life? You know what the two most popular answers were? The first one was, I wish I had spent more time with family and friends. That was the first one. You know what the second one was? Unanimous. I wish I had not cared what people thought and taken more risk. Said, I wish I had not cared what people thought and taken more risk. See, most people, they live the same 6-month cycles over and over and over again, y'all. What they do? Top of the year, new year, new me. Same reason the gym gets popping January 1st to February 17th. What happens? Nobody goes after that, but everybody's paying. You have to be the person that says, I'm going to keep going. See, information is everywhere, right? Like, We all know how to do. The reason you get in coaching programs and masterminds is because you need people to hold you accountable and push you. It's the summertime. How many of us came into the summer? We wanted the six pack. We wanted the muscles. We wanted to look good, right? We knew what we needed to do. How do you lose the weight? You take more steps and you eat healthier. We know that. It ain't rocket science. Summertime came, and this included me. We didn't show up how we were supposed to show up. Why? Not because we didn't know what to do, it's because we didn't have the accountability and we didn't have the people to push us places we couldn't push ourselves. That's how business works too. When you don't have someone that can hold you accountable, push you to places that you've never been, it's just harder, y'all. It's just harder. I got my gym I go to with the trainer. I went there for 6 months. Lost good weight. Was doing good. Lost 27 pounds. I was like, all right, I got it. I can maintain. I'm paying like $1,000 over this. So I'm like, all right, I'm good. I could go to a regular gym now. Month 1 go by. Month 2 go by, +4. Month 3 go by, +6. Month 4 go by, +8. I'm like, dang, what is it? Had to put my pride aside and go back. And what I realized was, it's not that I don't know how to eat. It's not that I didn't know what to lift. I played Division I sport. I know how to lift. What it was is the simple accountability of every Monday we have to step on the scale in front of the whole group. So that one thing is what I'm paying for. But guess what? I could think about the cost, or I could think about how much it's costing me not to be going to that gym. It will cost me much more. Bad health, bad decisions, right? You don't look good, feel good, perform good, all of these things. See, some of us, we worry about the cost of everything, but don't understand it costs us so much more to be in the same position in life. It cost me 6 years. There's no amount of money that I can add up to that. For some of you, it's costing you to keep trying to do this thing on your own. It's costing you to learn from people who haven't been to places you're looking to go. It's costing you. Some of us, we look at the cost of everything, but not the value of everything. If you were to do one webinar and close one person on a $3,500 offer, and you did that over and over and you repeated that cycle, what would life look like? If you close 125 offer every week, that's an extra $10,000 a month. If you close four at 2,500, now you're making $10,000 a week. That's $40,000 a month, y'all. The money's infinite. So I'm challenging you all, not for me, but for you, to go all in on you so you can see the endless possibilities that you have, right? Success isn't guessing. Success is a science. Success is step by step. All right. What if anyone has any questions too? Remember, no questions a dumb question. I want to make sure y'all get up here and get y'all questioning. All right. I also want to bring up somebody who already locked in a spot. The team just texted me. 19 spots are gone. That means there are 14 left. All right. Let me bring up somebody else who locked in a spot. Who I see. Let me bring up. Let's see. Lenora, I'm finna bring you up. We're finna bring you up. Let's see. How you feeling over there?
Can you hear me? I'm feeling
Yes.
I'm feeling good. I'm locked in. As I think about just business, I've been for years pouring back into my team and pouring into the business and like literally just kind of pushing myself over to the side. And I'm tired of that. Like I'm ready to, I've done that. Now it's like, okay, and I know I have something golden. It's just me, just doubt, fear, anxiety, worry, things like that. And just as now you're flooding my timeline constantly, and there's some other people who are doing business coaching, and y'all just flooding me. And I'm like, man, I'm sitting here wasting time watching y'all
Right.
when I know this can be me, and I'm one of those type of people, like you just give me the stuff, give me the system, the process, and I'm gonna run with it. And so it's time for me to invest in myself. And as I think about you talking about working out, I remember a couple of years ago me saying like, man, I want to work out. I want to, this certain physique, but it takes for me to actually do the work. And I've been consistently working out the past 2 years and loving the results. And
Love it.
so, as I give back to other people, it's time for me to really lock in and take care of myself and do the
Love it.
work. I'm excited to be a part of this program. And even I know I'm ranting, but when I started my business, I started with a mentorship program. And I remember like, oh my God, it's so expensive. But I'm so glad that I took the time to sacrifice to get to the business to where it needs to be. And so now, even this moment, like my heart was beating so fast before I pressed like pay in full. And so heart beating fast, but then I'm like, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? I don't have anything to lose. And like you say, it's just the start that is like where you're just like, oh my God, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I just know and I believe and just been researching you and everything and just hearing the stories from you. And so I'm
I love
ready.
it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. Congratulations. I'm excited. You're gonna cook too. I love the offer already. And we're gonna go crazy. I'm super excited. And one thing you said that's so good is you see these people online and you're like, what's different from them and me? Like there's no difference. And I tell people like ordinary people do extraordinary things once they make a decision to just go all in, right? Like you mentioned what you do now, you took a mentorship before it and now you're booming, right? So I tell people like, the more you invest, the more you grow. I'm super excited to coach you. I can't wait. Congratulations. And I'll see you on the other side.
Thanks.
No problem. Let's see. Yeah, y'all. Ordinary people do extraordinary things when they go all in on themselves, right? We we want things to grow, but nothing grows without being first poured into. All right, nothing, right? Some of us we're asking for something to harvest from something we haven't poured into or planted into, right? Some of y'all, you got plants, you got flowers at the house. You know what happens if you don't pour into them daily? What? That you're either growing or you're dying. There's no in between, right? So we have to put ourselves in the same position. Everyone wants to chase more clients, chase more leads, chase more, right? I don't believe in chasing. I believe in attracting by becoming the type of person that money will be attracted to. How do you do that? Well, a person that will be attracted to money is someone who's what? Who's disciplined, who's focused, who's consistent, right? Who understands persistence, but most importantly, a person who invests in themselves. It even says in the good book, my people are destroyed because they do not learn. You have to continue to learn so you can be more wise. How can I want to be the first millionaire in my family. I want to be the first one to break generational curses. But I don't want to know how to become that person. That doesn't make sense. It has to make sense and sense, right? We have to be say, okay, I'm going to be the person that can do this, but what does that person actually look like? What does that person actually look like if I want things to look different? Right? I got people who are counting on me. And I know right now, sometimes the enemy is the inner me. Some of us, we're battling do I or don't I? And what I'll tell you is, again, if you want life to look different tomorrow than yesterday, then you must do something different today. All right. And it always costs more to wait. Always. Literally, I'm going to Florida. I'm going to what's it called? Florida this weekend, right? On Friday. And I knew about the flights for 2.5 weeks. I knew about the event. I seen the ticket. The ticket was $240 round trip, y'all. What I do what most of us do. I waited. I went to go book the trip earlier. And now it's $997 simply because I waited. And so many times what we don't realize is in lives, it costs more to wait. It costs more to be in the same position a year from now. It costs more to not be out changing lives like you're supposed to be. It physically, literally costs more. So I'm telling you, don't wait because the longer you wait, the longer you delay the blessings, the longer you delay the business you want, the longer you delay all of the great things that you say you want. All of us. We want something to grow, but we have to pour into it. See, the gap between where we are and where we want to be is simply confidence. It's simply trust. It's that bridge. People say, I just can't get over the hump. You know what I realized? What I realized years ago is you got to pay your way over the hump. You got to pay your way over the hump. I realized that. Why? Because the thing that we're afraid to go all in on ourselves, that's the thing that's holding us back. Some of us were one decision away from changing our lives for the rest of our lives. One decision. It was a decision I made 4 years ago. Imagine this, 29 years old. I was talking to my mom today about it. She was like, because one of our cousins, she's living at home and she has a good business. She's doing well. And she a little older than me. She's like 36, not too far. I'm 33. And the way I said it, I was like, she's still living at home? I didn't mean it like that, but I said it like that. And my mom was like, you was 30 years old living at the house too. You over there. I'm like, no. I'm not stalling my face. And then I said, hold on, ma. I wasn't 30. I was 29. All right. I moved out at 29. But to think about it, I'm 29 years old, being at my mother's house, having to ask my mom, can she help me with a cell phone bill? I'm now 33 years old. From 29, 4 years ago, being at my mother's house, as a man being at your mom's house at 29, fellas, y'all know how it go. At 33 years old, making multiple millions of dollars. I don't tell you that to brag. I could care less about that. I tell you that to tell you that anything is possible and that your current situation isn't your final destination. I don't care where you are at in your life right now. Everything could be going bad. You might be looking at your bank account and you're like, it's on E right now. Guess what? I've been on negative. I've been on negative before, right? But what you have to realize is you're one opportunity away from changing everything. But the only way it changes if you change. It starts with you. It ain't about your environment. It ain't about your friends around you that's getting on you. It ain't about your cousin. No one cares if you grew up in a rough environment. Everybody has a sad excuse. Here's what I learned in life. Nobody is coming to save you. You can have excuses. You can have results. You can never have both. And the reality is this. The reality is this. No one's going to care more than us. Everyone is in their own movie. You have to figure out, how do I change my life? You have to do what you have to do to one day do what you want to do. You don't get to just do what you want to do. I didn't get to live this life just because I said I want to live it. No, I had to went through damn near the ringer and back. You have to realize it's called the 1% for a reason. Y'all know why it's called the 1%? Called the 1% because 99% of people are not willing to do the things that the 1% will do. I already know that. 21 of y'all have locked in. We had over 100 people on the call, 114, 21 have locked in. Why? I already know it's the law of averages, right? My job is to pull the best out of you, to get you to give everything you got. But I know everyone is not going to make that decision, and that's okay. But I'm talking to the person right now who is ready to make that decision, to do what they have to do so they can get to the life that they want to. That's why it's called the chosen few. When you're at the bottom of a mountain, right? If you've ever went hiking, what happens as you go up? What happens as you go up when you go hiking? We used to go hiking on Sunday back home. We had this place called Blue Hills hiking. Me and my mom and sister, we would go up there. Everybody start at the bottom, and there's levels to it. You get to the second level, the third level, the fifth level, the seventh level. It start getting hot, it start getting sticky. People start complaining we kind of high. The dirt isn't as concrete. People start tripping. And most people at the third level, what they do, they say, all right, I'm done. We had a good hike. I'm going back down. And as we continue to get to the fourth level, it'll be less people. And as we got to the top level, it was just us. And I'm telling you that because that's the same way life works. Everyone's not going to go. Some of y'all, your friends, they're not going to go with you. Some of you, your cousins, they can't go with you no more. You're going to have to cut off ties. But again, who are you willing to give up in order to go up? And what are you willing to cut off in order to take off? You have to ask yourself these questions. I had to cut off a lot of distractions. Some of y'all, you're going to have to get rid of TV. Some of y'all, you're going to have to get rid of the nonsense you watch. You're going to have to focus on you till the focus is on you. Don't be listening to people who are not in the places that you desire to be. Don't be taking direction from people who don't have any direction. Focus on you. What's going on, Chip? I see you over there, family. I'm waiting for you, Chip. Let's lock in. All right. What other questions does anyone have? Any questions y'all have? I want to make sure I get y'all situated and get y'all certainty. All right. Congratulations, Cameron Johnson. I see you just came through. You spot number 22. Congratulations. I love it. I love it. I love it. What else we got? All right. Good. Cameron, let me bring you on up. Let me see if I see you. If you want to, if not, no worries. I love for the people to be able to hear different people, different perspectives. Okay, I don't know if Cameron's on here. I see Javon. Okay, cool. Okay. Perfect. All right, y'all. So look, all right. Those first five spots that people asked for, those are full. All right. We will announce the winners tomorrow. Actually, no, sorry, we'll announce all the winners on our onboarding call for those of y'all who did lock in. All right. Make sure y'all good. All right. For class schedule, that all will be announced. All right. That all will be announced. All right. On Monday. All right. But y'all will get access to y'all stuff as soon as you all sign your agreement. All right. So once you all pay, you're going to get an agreement. You're going to look over the agreement. You sign the agreement so you understand how the program works, everything that's included. And once you do that, we're going to make sure that we get you locked in. On Monday, we're going to break every single thing down. All right. My guy Cam said he here. Let me bring my guy up. What's going on, family?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Congratulations, man. What made you lock in?
Thank you. I actually got it with my mom. She's the one who invited me. to this course, and I just wanted to, try to elevate and get going with my business and our business and just get to that next level.
I love it.
So
What do you do? What are you going to be doing?
right now, well, I'm a freelance 3D designer. I create 3D designs for games, businesses. I do product visualization, that's creating renders. So like, let's say if you have a product that you want to sell, I can create renders where you don't have to have like an actual photographer for it. I can just create and do 3D renders of that so you can have content for your business. I
Wow.
also do graphic designs, videography. So
I love it,
just
bro. That's good. That's good. And how old are you?
22.
22, young. Okay, we're gonna go crazy. Yeah. We gotta get you to 1 million by the time you're 23. So I'm excited, bro.
Like a plan.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Mom Dukes for bringing you in and y'all doing this thing together. And I look forward to coaching you, man. Congrats.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir. 22, man. If I knew at 22, sheesh, that's super dope. Um, and shout out to the environment. Shout out to Coach Shay. Everything is environment. I didn't know about mentorship when I was 22, right? Shoot, if I did, I might not have went to college, but it's super dope. And I'm super excited to coach both of y'all over these next 6 months, right? And that's what it's about, the environment. All right. When your environment changes, you change, right? Your environment changes, you change. What we got to understand is like that's a perfect example when I say whatever entertains you, trains you, and whatever you tune into, you turn into. That's what I mean, right? Like that household, there's gonna be nothing that can interrupt that, right? Because all it is iron sharpening iron, right? Crochet sharpening Cam sharpening crochet. What they're gonna build is gonna be great because there's no choice but to, right? When you have so much energy that's in alignment in the same house, that is how we grow. Right. That's why I go to masterminds. I go to conferences. Right. I don't miss out on opportunities because I realize I could just be around somebody, hear something, and it just turned me up. Okay, cool. They did it. I can do it. Oh, that's a great idea. Let me go implement it. All right. But when we don't have these things in our regular life, it's hard to grow. It's hard to grow, y'all. Right. And I know some people here, you're like, listen, I'm gonna go figure this thing out. And I always hope for you to. Real talk. But what I tell people is, you know, they used to have this phrase, practice makes perfect. Right. Anyone heard that phrase before? Practice makes perfect. All right. And Kimberly said, how long is the program? The program is 10 weeks. All right. 10 weeks. The reason I do 10 weeks is because my goal is to get you all up and going fast. Right. I want to get you up and going fast. All right. We used to hear the term practice makes perfect my whole life coming up. I played football. But here's what I learned. So we used to go to the field by ourselves and we used to run. We used to sprint. Used to do lift weights. We used to do all of it by ourselves. And I remember 9th to 10th grade year, we weren't making that much progress. It wasn't getting much faster. Wasn't getting much stronger. Was getting a little stronger, but not really getting bigger. So then one summer, I hear about this opportunity to train at this new athletic facility with the same trainers that the Patriots were training with. Why? Because he was training the pros. I'm super excited. I'm going to work a job just to pay. My mom, she like, I'm gonna go half with you, but you gotta pay me back. I'm like, bet. Yo, I trained, I trained with this dude for 6 weeks in one summer, from 10th to 11th grade. 10th to 11th grade. When I was doing it on my own, I barely got faster, barely got strong. I trained with a trainer who was training the Patriots. That summer, everything changed. Got a whole second faster on my 40, added a whole 80 pounds on my bench, a whole 150 pounds on my squat, had the best season of my life. Why? Not because I didn't practice before him. It's because I was practicing based on what I did not know. So when people say practice makes perfect, that's false. Perfect practice makes perfect. You have to learn from the people who have the answers that you desire, the outcome that you desire, right? Like when I was in school, I wasn't the smartest, but I was smart enough to realize I didn't have the answers. But if I didn't have the answers, I sat next to somebody who had the answers. I'm gonna say that again. When I didn't have the answers, I say this in business: you gotta cheat, lie, and steal. Now, hear me out before you judge me. When I say cheat, you have to cheat off the test with somebody who's already done it. I got to cheat. So I pay mentors to cheat off their test. They got the blueprint. I pay everybody for their superpowers. Let me see. Y'all think I'm joking. I spent over 30,000 last 30 days. Right? Second thing you got to do is you got to steal. You have to steal the blueprint. They already have the experiences. I'm not trying to go get there slow. I'm trying to steal the process, the blueprint. How much do I need to pay to get there faster? That's it. Then the third thing you got to do is you got to lie. See, you got to lie to yourself to trick yourself out of what you currently think. Some of you, you're still currently thinking, can I do this? You're currently thinking, I'm not enough. You're currently thinking, will it work for me? You're currently thinking, how's this going to work out? Y'all, you have to lie to yourself. I had to reprogram myself. I was dead broke, no money, walking around 4.5 years ago, still walking around like I was already up a millionaire. Why? Because I believed that I was going to be. When I say you have to see it here to see it here, to go out and seize it, that's what I mean. Before I had a Lamborghini, I used to go to Miami. I would rent the Lamborghini before I could even afford it. Why? Because I had to see it first to seize it. Some of the problem is we can't even imagine the life that we want. You have to that's why you got to stay around the fire, because when you stay around the fire, eventually you get hot and you stay hot. But if you stay away, what do? You get cold. You veer off. It's lonely out there. I've been there. That's the difference between certainty, clarity, and redirection. You need that. Think about it. If I told you to watch a video and go build a house, you wouldn't be able to do it. Why? Because there's so many components to it. Some of y'all, you're like, oh, I'm gonna just go watch the replays and just figure all this stuff out. I'm just going, boom, 7 figures, we on the way. Go watch this video, go build that house. Nah, when you want to build a house, what do? You get around the GCs, you get around the contractors, you go watch them build for the first 2 weeks. Then what you do is you say, okay, let me get one piece. Then you do the one piece, then you feel good. Then you do another piece, then you feel good. Then eventually you've now mastered building the house. But you need someone there to push you past the limits that you can push yourself. You need your Phil Jackson. You know, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. It's no coincidence they had the same coach. It's no coincidence that the same coach got the same championships with both of those two. They were in the same offense. See, it wasn't just the coach. It wasn't just the players. It was the system. Yeah, it's the triangle offense. It's the system. Michael Jordan, 7 championships. Kobe Bryant, 6 championships. Well, what? It's the system and the coach. You know what's even crazier? Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan also have this. They had the same offseason coach named Tim Grover. Look it up. The same. I think that's coincidental. The two greatest two guards of all time have the same coaches in season and off season. No. The way you win is by having a system and having a coach. That is, I could not get to where I'm at. I would not be sitting in front of y'all without that. Couldn't. I spent over $293,000 in personal development information. Some people will be like, you're crazy as hell. Well, guess what? Because I was crazy as hell, now bank account crazy as hell. Mom's mortgage paid crazy as hell. Travel when she want, she go crazy as hell. Little sister shops crazy as hell because I made a decision to become crazy as hell. So if you want what everyone else has, you keep doing what hasn't been working. If you want crazy results, then you have to act a little crazy. Success is a prerequisite to success is delusion. I tell people all the time, I've been delusional. I didn't have that problem, right? I didn't have that. For some of us, we got to be a little more delusional about our goals and the things we want out of life. Anything you want, you can have. Some of us, we act like God's blessings are on a budget. Like you're limited on the success you can have. There's no limits to the things you can do. There's no limits to the things you can have, but you just have to be obedient to your calling. You have to be, y'all, you have to be someone that's constantly creating. You have to be someone that's constantly living. Some people, they're living on earth, but they're dying because they're not operating in their purpose. You know, the number one reason that causes, they say, depression, anxiety, right? People not feeling fulfilled. Fulfillment comes from operating in purpose. You have to walk in your purpose, on purpose, with purpose. That is how you live a life fulfilled. That's why I got into this. I loved it, but I had to go all in on me. All right? So that's the last thing I'll leave y'all with, just so we are all clear. There is 24, 24 of those spots are gone. All right, so we still do have 9 spots left. So whether you guys want to take advantage of the opportunity tonight, before they're gone, once they're gone, they're gone. Just wanted to make sure that y'all have the opportunity. All right, y'all. Congratulations to those of y'all who did lock in. Super excited. We're gonna go crazy over these next 10 weeks, building this thing out, going all in, getting what we need to get where we need to get to. All right. We do still have class tomorrow. All right. Day 3. What I tell y'all every day gets better. Every day gets better. All right. Tomorrow we're talking about marketing. All right. Tomorrow we're gonna break down marketing. So tomorrow we're gonna break down content. We're gonna break down OPA, other people's audience, and how you guys can start building out your content strategies to drive traffic to your webinar so you can sell the offer. So we built that offer, we built the system. Tomorrow we build out the marketing plan. All right. Super excited. Homework tonight. All right. Homework tonight. What I want you all to do is I want you to drop in the Telegram group, all right, what your webinar is going to be and what are the 3 secrets going to be. So the webinar title, the hook, and the 3 secrets that you're going to be breaking down. Webinar title, hook, and the 3 secrets you're going to be breaking down. All right, I will drop that in the group to make sure y'all get access to that. All right, and then yeah, I'll make sure we send out the link. That we still got time to submit our homework from yesterday. Oh yeah, you could drop it in there. Absolutely. Yep, you could drop it in there. I like to say better late than never, right? Better late than never for sure. All right. We'll also add it 9 a.m. sharp Eastern time tomorrow. All right. 9 a.m. Eastern time. We got morning mindset call. We're gonna get it in again. Then we come back 6 p.m. We'll get it in VIP, and then 7 p.m. Last day, we're gonna make it the best day. All right. What they say? Save the best for last. Save the best for last. All right. Super excited, y'all. If anyone else needs to put down their deposit, make sure we'll send out a text. Once the non-sponsors gone, they're gone. They'll also put them in the Telegram group. Yeah, secure. And then, yeah, once they're gone, we'll announce it. We'll let y'all know. What's the homework? You're gonna do a video. You're gonna break down your webinar title, your hook, and then the 3 beliefs that you're gonna be breaking down in your presentation. And I'll put it in the homework as well in the Telegram group. Super excited, y'all. All right, let's get it. Tomorrow gets better. You have an amazing, amazing night. Get your homework in early, and I'll see y'all in the AM. Peace out.